CAC is about bringing the climbing community together to help tackle cancer. And we do that by funding cancer research and also programs to help people live with and beyond cancer. And we also do it by raising awareness. We've actually donated more than £500,000 to charities around the world. A bunch of ways to get involved with CAC. One is to buy some kit. Another way is fundraising. It could be a tray bake. Just be creative, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, it's about raising money. And then the third thing is we regularly have pop-up stalls. So we at festivals, events, competitions, and having people along just to help out at those couple of hours, up to folks like us, folks like you at home, to get involved and keep the thing carrying forward.
Together, let's be pleased.
Hello and welcome to Plywood Masters 2025. We're at Boulder, UK, and we're about to get underway to find our finalists. My name is Matt Groove, and I'm joined once again, and I cannot believe you're here. It's so exciting. Leah Crane in the commentary box once more. Leah, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Plywood for me is just the competition that kicks off the full season. I absolutely love coming here. Obviously commentating with yourself, but just watching all the action and all the athletes that are preparing for the season ahead.
It's going to be brilliant. Yesterday they were qualifying for today's semi-final and final. 30 blocks have been stripped from the wall overnight, and this comp wall has new boulders for the men and women, and we're looking at the start list. And Leah, although we've got some big names, we're looking down at Max Milne and other Toby Roberts, who we're live on YouTube with, Jim Pope. We've got some more unknown people. It's going to be fascinating to see how they step up.
Yeah, and I think that's what you get when you get some of the older athletes or the athletes that decide that maybe competitions aren't for them, moving on, and you get this kind of new field of younger athletes or less experienced athletes moving through. And these kind of national events that we've got on our home soil are really where they start to, no pun intended, but get to grips with competition climbing on UK soil against some of the biggest names. Obviously, Toby's been and won the Olympics, so there might be a little bit of pressure going on in isolation behind the curtain, but again, just to see everyone out on the mats and mixing with each other, it's just a fantastic event.
Yeah, it's building up to the start of the IFSC season that's coming around about mid-April in China, and there are quite a few big events like this, and as you said, this is one of the first to make its mark. We're looking at the women's here. Holly qualifying in first place. I can't wait to see Holly climb, because obviously we know her class and quality that she can bring to a competition.
Yeah, so obviously Holly is the reigning champion, defending champion of 24. So she, again, is probably going to be feeling a little bit of pressure to actually perform here. She looked a little bit stressed in qualifiers yesterday. Obviously, name at the top of the list, so who knows what was going on, because she did absolutely fine. You never know what's going on inside an athlete's head. But yeah, let's see what she can throw down.
Exactly. Well, the athletes are out on the mats. We're about to get underway. We're looking at Sam here. Now, our first female, Lucy, is not here with us today. We're not quite sure why, but Lucy, we hope you're all right wherever you are. Now, we're starting with a slab, Leah, and it's sort of quite a techie beginning and then a jumpy, boosty top to this thing.
Yeah. Some climbers are going to absolutely love this. They're going to love to be able to come out and not have to pull on, like, really steep ground straight away. However, it'll be down to the climbers that can really hold their nerve. X or second go wobble. That normally slabs are decider in points. So it'd be really interesting to see what goes on here. Some of these holds, we have been down and had a look. Some of these holds are quite good, but the feet aren't.
Yeah,
So,
and you're right, he was using a foothold as a handhold there just to move himself over towards the zone, which he's now got. This isn't a bad hold, though.
yeah, that is actually a really good in-cut crimp. The volume texture is really good as well. We had a little look at that earlier. It's always kind of nice to know what the athletes are standing on, whether it's a slippy surface or a grippy surface. So we know that already. I did speak to the route setters, and they did say that they expected quite a few tops on this one. It is one of the gentler blocks, but that's not to say, please don't get this wrong at home, that's not to say this is easy.
No, it's not. And there's a variety of methods for the top. You can do what Sam did there, go up with one hand and then match. You can actually jump up and catch both volumes. And when I had a chat to the setter, he was saying that speed is kind of better for the top. If you kind of do it in maybe 2 movements rather than creep up like Sam does, it might have been a bit easier.
Yeah, I also think as well with the setters, obviously they're really comfortable in their, they're doing a job, they've got lots of time to try it and fix it, and they're not in a competition environment. So to jump up double-handed on a slab is actually quite an intimidating thing when you're trying to not lose points. And you'll be able to see from people's body language if they're feeling quite flowy or if they're quite jittery, second-guessing their movements. So we'll see how he attempts the stand-up this time, whether he does, like you said, dynamic, or whether he still moves quite slowly. He's looking quite in control. Commentator's curse.
Oh, yeah, you could see he was falling off for about 5 seconds before he fell there, wobbling around. I hate those falls. When you know it's going to happen, but it takes a while for you to actually hit the mats.
You've still got to try, though.
Yeah.
Because you never know. It just might hold you on.
I think that's better from Sam. Rather than trying to use that foothold to creep over, I think it's better just to bump into that zone, which he did that time. He did fall off, I'll admit, but I think that's maybe a better method. So 2 minutes on the clock. We've got our leaderboard up on the top left of your screen. Now, there's various boxes there, which you might not be used to, but it goes, the one on the right-hand side with a 5 in it, that's the number of attempts, fills up halfway for a zone, all the way for a top, and we'll try to keep you updated with the scoring. We will be able to show you maybe the top 6 or so on the left-hand side, but we'll keep you updated on everyone else as well. And Leah, this is a comp you competed in quite a while ago. I was looking down the leaderboard.
Don't bring that up.
I'm going to bring this up. You're used to being on those mats.
Do you know, it's really easy to forget, even myself, how long I've climbed for. And actually, I don't have a clue when I did competitions. And I won this event in 2009. And it just makes me feel really old. But it's really nice to now kind of gone, full circle. I competed in it as a kid, and now I'm here commentating with you.
You know what's funny is I started climbing in 2009, literally, because that's the year I left drama school and found a climbing wall. Right, Sam approaching the top now. Now, it's a boosty move. It's not a bad hold. That is an addition there. And he's very, very close now. Needs to get 2 hands on, needs to match this. Drops that right foot down. He's trying to find something for that right foot.
Yeah, well kept his cool there, Sam. Good effort on that one. It was for me, watching him, way better movement moving up the slab. He was a lot more in control. He was very, almost definite with what he was doing. And just nice that he kept it together for the match, because a lot of people get last move fever.
Absolutely.
And start doing wild things.
Yeah. Well, this is some of the isolation area. You can see the athletes sitting backs to the wall. I think this is in the isolation zone around the back of the comp area. I like the T-shirts this year. I might have stolen one of those blue ones.
I normally try and get comp T-shirts for bedtime. Just have a little sleep in them.
All right, so Sam will sit with his back to the wall, and we wait now about 12 seconds to go before we have our rotation here. And that is it. Plywood Masters 25 on the wall. It's been newly painted this year. It's looking fantastic out there. I like the mint streak throughout it. And hello to everyone who's watching on YouTube, by the way. We've got lots of people following from the ice season, actually. We've got Yuri and Mr. Jan Havel, of course. So hello to everyone watching. Please send your support to the athletes. And thank you to Toby as well. We're live on Olympic gold medalist channel here, Leah. We've stepped things up.
Indeed. I mean, Toby's also stepped things up.
Yeah, I know. He's got quite good, hasn't he?
Yeah, here he is in Preston, at Boulder, UK.
Yes, he is. I had breakfast with him this morning. I just want to tell the world that Toby had 4 poached eggs and a piece of brown bread. So, that's the champion's breakfast.
It's a good breakfast.
It's really good, eh? Okay, so we're watching Sienna here on this kind of cordo runny jump move.
Yeah, just missing the handholds. She just went a little bit too low. Personally, I've not climbed on these holds before, so that's a tricky thing, really. If you haven't actually, or don't have a lot of experience on the hold you're climbing on, it can be really hard work to actually figure out how to hold it. Yeah. She's not quite reading the beater as the setters have intended. It is intended to stop on the first hold.
Yeah, she's trying to move through and cross with that right hand.
She's trying to move through, yeah, but I think also she might be second guessing herself. The commitment isn't quite there, but that, again, let's hopefully see if it can build as she has more attempts.
Yeah, watching Oliver on the right of the screen here, top left of your screen. Up with the right hand, catches the left.
Well, I think he was just starting to concentrate on his hands and forgot that he's actually standing on a really slanted volume.
Yeah. Sienna is trying even more dynamic. So you think she just needs to slow this down, perhaps?
Yeah, so you can see 2 foot holds on the vertical volume on your left. I think that's a foot stop. Mm-hmm. You really need to oppose that with the left hand when you catch, and then you can gain control. From there, then you can start to move out left and then flick into the undercut.
Okay, well, let's see if she can read this then. She resets, have another look. She had 6 goes already, and very low that time on the no-tex bit with that left hand.
Yeah, a high number of attempts on this block is, especially if you're learning it, isn't a bad idea. The first move isn't very taxing from your energy, and the thing that you need to do if you're not getting it is learn that movement. So get on, get on, get on.
Okay, back to Oliver here. He's had 2 attempts so far, and he's got pretty close, actually. Tries to work those feet down, those heels dropping, trying to get as much rubber on that slab as possible.
Yeah, much better. He had higher feet then as well, which meant when he reached up for the second volume, there was less slip to happen.
And now he's very close with the feet. Like he tries a heel hook. Wow, I'm not sure that's going to work. And he drops it down. That's not bad, you know. Oh, no.
I was going to say, it might get his hand there, but that match is going to be desperate if he's not up on his feet.
It's a nasty pocket. She goes again in the same position, not making progress. And you can see those shoulders slump a little bit. A little bit of frustration kicking in here. And as an athlete, Leo, I mean, what do you do in this situation? You know, the first move isn't working. You want to go out and start things positively, but it's not going your way. How do you sort of reset your brain?
Well, that'd be down to the climber sometimes, and you can tell sometimes they can't, and it really eats away at them, and they struggle with that sort of, oh my gosh, this is the first block and I can't do the first move. I know I've said about the learning part, I really try to come at it from a learning perspective. And like when you climb in training, you don't just expect to do every move first go. It's definitely a learning process. So if a climber can kind of get, there we go, we're starting to make some progress, she's starting to learn. If they can get into a learning mindset where every single time they get on, they're trying to either change something or learn something, that's where progression can really happen.
Yeah, you can see her trying to kick with that left leg. The shoulders went back up again after having slumped, but she's...
Yeah, so the thing that she's trying to do is land that left foot, and that's going to give her opposition for landing the handhold. If the left foot's not there, she's not going to make connection.
Okay, so she kicks again, lots of attempts going down. Oliver, meanwhile, goes back to the left heel hook just to get established, I think, to bump that hand up.
Here we go. He's realised it's a palm.
Well, that's...
He looks like a fairly tall climber to fit in that space. And again, for me, if you're tall, you need to be flexible with that. Otherwise, that's kind of a struggle in some of the positions that you need to be able to get into.
So stuff to work on with just a minute on the clock here. One of our photographers, Sam, on the bottom left. A very, very good photographer, has got to be said, and a very good climber. So you can go check out his Instagram. Taking some wonderful pictures of the comp so far. And yeah, Sienna going backwards again here. I'm not sure she's going to make progress on this with about 30 seconds to go.
You never know. It only takes one slight little change.
Yeah,
if there's time on the clock, there's a chance.
That is true, but she's going to have to get a move on. 20 seconds to go here. I like that toe catch, by the way, he was doing on that left foot to move over.
Yeah, really good for him to see it, actually, because when you're on a slab, you might not necessarily think of a toe hook straight away. Yeah.
Well, he's probably got one more chance of this. Brings that right foot up. 5 seconds to go. Can he make the match? His one hand in. 2 seconds. He's got to hurry up. He can hear the buzzer. Is he going to make it? No. That's frustrating, eh?
That's heartbreaking. There is a 3-second buzzer here at this competition. So you don't get a 10-second countdown, you don't get 5. You don't know that you need to rush. 3 seconds isn't really a lot of time to react when you've got one hand on the hold.
No, it's not. And you can see the athletes start to get a bit worried when that goes. All right, well, we've seen 2 boulders now. We will try to keep up with the action. You guys know what a semi-final is like. We have lots of athletes out on the mats. Later on, we'll have just 6 for the finals. So you'll have to stick with us as we go through this. Now, Prudence is on. She's come over from Spain to do this competition. I know she's a van lifer and is more of an outdoor climber perhaps than an indoor, but she's done well to get into semi-finals here.
Yeah, I spoke to her yesterday. She seems really excited to actually be competing, especially she climbs here so much. Right,
so kicking those legs. And then again, just trying to figure out this first move. Oh, we see men's number 2 as well. Now, campus guppying. That was the word that the reset has used.
I can't say that's in the latest trends of training.
I don't know.
But, a useful skill to have.
Yeah, well, there's the guppy. He's not campusing yet, but as you can see, there's no feet under there.
They are good volumes, so they're quite acute in angle. You can get a pretty good palm grip on. I can see why they would say campusing, because they do look campusable, if you're that good.
Yeah, he did well to get a foot, actually. And now he's in the second half of this boulder. This is the boulder that I wouldn't want to go anywhere near because I couldn't see many handholds on it. They're also slopey and it's body position dependent.
Yeah, I think this top section also looks quite particular, like you said, body position dependent. If you're out by a centimetre, it's going to feel absolutely nails. It'd be really interesting to see the different heights and how they actually play into this boulder as well, depending on if you want to campus or if you actually want to do it a little bit more technical.
Yeah. I love having Leah here, by the way, because not only is she an amazing athlete, she's also a very good coach. So you've literally got all bases covered. It's brilliant.
I don't know if I do either anymore, but I'm just living mum life right now.
All right, well, we are 3 minutes to go on this round. Prue goes once again on this skip across. She's not getting that left kick either.
Yeah, we still got just under 3 minutes on the clock. Like when we watched the previous climber, she did start to learn really well. So obviously the climbers can't hear us, but get on and learn. And Sam going again. He topped out boulder number 1. He's kind of got this interesting, like almost a knee scrub in there, and now drops it down. Yeah, these volumes are going to get warmer as well as we go through. So the holdability, if I can use that word,
yes,
is potentially going to decline too. The top holds, they are slopey. There's not a lot of the module techs as well, so it's block 2 is really against them. This is a really, in my opinion, quite a technical boulder.
I think it's a tough set overall, really. I was talking to Jan about if it's a World Cup standard set, like how you pitch this one, and he sort of shrugged his shoulders, and I was like, definitely some of these boulders could be in World Cup, so it is hard out there.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a rope climber.
Yeah, he did say that as well.
you asked the wrong one.
I did. He was like, I'm just not used to this, but I think he's enjoyed setting. There's obviously a big team of setters here.
This is Louis Lancaster on block 1. He is having a bit of trouble with this first move, but just looking down his prep sheet, he's only competed for a year. Oh. So good effort, Louis, for actually making semi-finals at Plywood.
Yeah. It's the best thing about this comp, honestly. I had a little climb yesterday, and the fact you can pull onto boulders next to somebody like Toby, do the same boulders, is just such an exciting concept. I love comps like this.
And it's funny, actually, we talk about Toby, because a lot of these climbers were also climbing alongside Ben Moon yesterday, and I probably would bet that 80% of them don't have a clue who he is.
And Ben is sporting an amazing mullet currently, which I haven't seen before on him.
Maybe it makes him stronger.
It definitely did. He was crushing. He was in the veterans category yesterday.
Oh, he's going. Oh, I thought we were going to have a beta break on men's 2 then. He was going direct.
Could be possible, maybe. I like the fact he's trying that with a minute to go. You might as well give something else a go.
He's been up there a few times. He obviously feels like he's not really moving in a good position the other way. Yes, Louis. Come on.
So one is Louis' first competitions on the first boulder. Can he get this done? 30 seconds.
I think he can. He's nearly 6 foot, so this is where he needs to. He's nearly 6 foot tall, so this is where he needs to get his foot up and really get over that left or right foot, whichever one he's going to go with.
And you can see the problem kind of kicking his own chest there as he tries to stand up. He's got time though. One hand in. Can he make this match? We've seen people drop it from the top before.
Here he goes.
Good work.
Good lad.
That'll give him so much. And look at that. Nice to see from Prudence there. And Prudence making slightly less progress. I just seen Sienna had 21 goes on that boulder.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Like, that shows that she was actually getting on. She wanted to know how to do that move. And actually, the difference between an attempt to zone is everything that could make a difference between going through and going not.
And there she is again, back on the mats. So let's see if she can get into this one. And this blue one was tweaked a little bit by the setters. And you can see the zone up there. The zone is the first scoring opportunity if you're new to competitions. And then the top is the best. And you can see the blue boxes filling up or going halfway for tops or zones on the left of your screen.
Yeah, let's see how the girls approach it actually as we move through, because some info from the setters, we'll see if it matches up what they end up doing.
Yes, I just want to remind everyone that although we talk to the setters, what's fun about climbing is it's kind of up to the athletes to do what they want. So although we'll tell you what the setters are thinking, that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. You can do whatever you like as an athlete, and we enjoy seeing beta breaks and new things. That's the campus method. Up towards the zone with the right hand.
Cruising through these. Interestingly, he didn't top the slab, but he's campusing the volumes.
Yeah, so definitely maybe more of a power climber out there. And he's close now.
He is. He's just flowing through this top move.
That's a techie, slabby movement, though.
Cameraman needs to mind out. In we go.
Yes, that cameraman is the gentleman who prepares the graphics for us. And you've got to come back and watch the finals, because we have computer game style things to show you of the boulders out there. Renders, that was the word I was thinking of. That's coming later on.
Tom Jenkinson making fast progress up this block. This is his flash attempt.
It's a good boulder, this. I like the fact that everyone's done it a little bit differently, and it's another top, though.
That's our first flash.
Oh, wow.
I'm here for alternative beta.
I just tilted my head there to try to work out the angle. That's a huge splits move.
So again, talking to the route setters about this particular women's 2 block, they do intend for it to be starting facing out towards the crowd, and that'll be because there's just a little bit more space behind you. Another interesting fact on this, though, that there wasn't any female setters for this comp. Now, that's not, necessarily a bad thing, but I do feel like sometimes it can be forgotten how flexible girls are.
Yes.
Or how flexible girls can be. And so, not that she's done the move that way. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else does it. It's not that it can't be done facing in, it's just that it's definitely a lot easier and with more room facing out.
Yes, exactly that. And it's interesting. She won't have had as much kind of perhaps comp experience as some of the other athletes, and she hasn't really looked at that face out method yet. I wonder if she manages to spot it. Remember, the athletes do not get help out there. It's all up to them. Just taps that left foot on. And you can see what she wants to get that right foot so high.
Yeah, this might be a reading thing we've got going on here, that she's kind of reading the beta that way, or it might just be that she's found herself accidentally in that position and that she feels like she's making progress.
Oh, horizontal now. If that had worked, I'd be so impressed, but I'm not sure it's going to. So she has to rethink here a little bit, Sienna. Oliver leading the way for the men.
We've got Ellen McKenzie on block 1. Women's block 1. Good first swing, actually. That looks like a really promising start. We just really need to land that left foot. It's easy to think about, I need to get to the handhold. That's my next kind of goal. But sometimes the handholds are kind of irrelevant if the feet don't go with.
It's a very good point, Leah, and few of the women have read it quite right so far. Lots to go, remember? And now she faces out, so this might suddenly open the door for her. Certainly an easier starting position, and she can get to those second holds better. Got to press those, quite shouldery here. Again, wants to bring maybe that left foot up this time. She's looking at that left hand that's pressing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a strong kick round, like what's about to happen. Hopefully, I'm going to cross my fingers for you. It looks like she's just struggling to get to that hold in terms of reach.
She really wants that left foot on something, and now has it, but it's so awkward, just a finger there.
And she's in the bolt hole.
Yeah. Try hard face here. 30 seconds to go.
Flick that left hand around. Come on. Here we go. She's concentrating quite hard.
Yeah, and a lot of core to hold this position as well. She will be getting tired here. No, not that time.
This actually, the block that she's on, block 2 and block 3, are 2 of the hardest for the women. So we might see a few struggles on them.
Yeah, it is a tough start. We're watching the women because the men got that slab done quite quickly. 1 second to go. Not enough this time.
Still finishing with a smile on her face, though. It's good. It's good. It's good experience.
Yeah, experience is exactly the word, because this is why you would enter a comp like this. You know, it's either training for a season or just your first maybe insight into the comp world. And there's such a strong local scene here. I've never seen so many strong local crushers. And people keep being like, oh, watch them, because they're really good. You know, it's a lovely atmosphere here.
I feel like every wall has a little group of dark horse climbers.
Yes. All right, well, the brushes are out in force as the athletes get scrubbing. People are enjoying the action on YouTube as well as we get underway. First time we see this. Now, interesting, the downward dyno debate. There was a rule for the IFSC that most people follow. You can't have a downwards dyno. That's now been removed. So you can theoretically have a downwards dyno, but it's kind of up to the setters to set it intelligently so athletes don't hurt themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty common sense if it's going to be dangerous or not. And there is a process for coaches to highlight that problem if it occurs at competition. But yeah, I think a swing down is a move that we've seen in comps and international and local for a long time.
Yes, we have, and it's always been one of those weird grey area rules. Bobbles that right heel off and through, presses into the corner. She's read it correctly.
I'm going to say, reading that quite fast for first time, just being able to inch that. She doesn't seem like the tallest climber, so maybe inching that left hand up is actually going to give her the span to reach the next hold.
It's interesting how the second athlete's kind of stuck in that position. It's quite hard to move away from that with the press, I think. Guppy in the background and this kind of Lachey style move to land, and then you've got to land and then press back with the right hand. Yeah,
that move really requires commitment and actually more movement than you think, because the less movement you give, your bum's going to stick out and you're going to follow wherever your bum goes, so you're going to land back on the mat.
I'm going to use that in life, bad advice. It's a good one. 2 minutes 57. Our leaderboard's starting to stack up now. Oliver's still leading the way, and Saka is out now. You can see her on women's number 1. None of the top 4 getting to grips with even the zone on that first climb, so a tricky start for the women, as we said.
Yeah, he's just not making that swing, that actual commitment. So the important part here is really getting your hips up and over your feet, and his hips are just hanging back so far. There's nowhere near enough movement.
I love the fact you're another hips talker. I've done a bit with Shauna, who you coached quite a lot, and you two talk about hips more than any other athletes.
Yeah, I think we both share very similar. We both share the same views. Yes. in that department.
So he starts this swing again. Better commitment from him. Doesn't like it, does he? Yeah,
I think I don't know. Again, body language wise, I think it looks like he's getting a little bit lost and not really sure what to do or how to commit.
Yeah, it's lonely out there when you're stuck on the first move. Campusing on the top of your screen on these pretty good volumes up towards that left pinch. Good work to bring the thumb into play.
Yeah, he got to here last time. Again, he had a foot pop. His feet were popping a little bit on the slab. I think maybe some kind of novice comp nerves might be getting the better of him a little bit.
So Andrew here on boulder number 1. Big flag there to stop the barn door, and then we'll try to match underneath. That's better. Good friction where his feet are.
Yeah, I mean, again, that volume is grippy. It's really, it's actually a really nice texture. Yeah. And he's stuck the swing down on the bottom right corner.
Well, he's gone from lost to making the move. Then falls, we say that.
He's got a minute left. This would be really good now for him to get back on quick and start learning.
High press up as he comes into the right hand dish. Another way of doing this boulder. Now with the left, he should really get it from here. Oh no, pops that left foot. And a puff out of air. He's only got 40 seconds. I'll have to go quickly.
Here we go.
It's all about that left foot, isn't it? The way he planted that, it made it way easier to land.
Yeah, you got to get yourself wedged in that little gap, and then you'll be in. I feel like this match move requires a left toe hook on the volume underneath. just to bring 2 hands across to anchor you down, and then it'll be able to start making moves for the bonus.
Yeah, he runs back to the brush. Osaka again with 10 seconds to go. She doesn't make progress on this one, might be out of time now. And last attempt here for Louis, maybe. He's got here a few times. Watch that right heel, it pops again and he's down. So zone but no top for him.
Yeah, that was a close zone. That was a close, very close zone. It was really good that he could readjust and then his foot popped, because that will have given him the zone. Yeah,
so our judges working hard down at the front of this facility at Boulder UK. Remember, brilliant gym. Do come and visit it if you're in the area. Sort of 45 minutes away from Manchester by train, so easy if you've got a flight out. And it's a good wall here.
The blocks are good, but if you're a board climber or like training, you need to come and check out the training area.
I haven't seen them. I'm looking at them now. I missed that.
Yeah, you need to go upstairs and get on the boards.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, lots of training here. Good coffee as well, which is highly important in any climbing wall, especially for me. Okay, so we are watching Sienna again. She hasn't had the best start. Now, women's number 3, the power boulder. There are more holds on this, but very physical moves.
Yeah, there are more holds on this, and the holds are, looking at them, fairly positive. So if you can yard between them, keep tension, the footholds are not very good. So you're going to have to actually have a fair amount of body control in order to stay on.
He was trying to fully land on that left volume there.
Yeah, he was. I'm not sure if it's less of a sideways swing and more of a down and in to get yourself established, and then you can come back out.
Oliver will re-go here, and then Sienna again, just she's had so many attempts at boulders, has another look around. I was looking at that, whether there's a toe catch underneath. I don't think there really is, but she had a look at the underside of that hold. So is he just doing this move, has he just misread this?
Yeah, so again, I think because potentially the climb goes left, he might subconsciously be thinking, I need to go left. Actually, he needs to swing down and in, get himself wedged in the groove with the palm behind him, and then he can start to move out again.
All right, so work to do.
Now he's campusing backwards. We have a campuser.
Backwards go. Oh yeah, he is as well. He's going to a nasty crimp though. We're pretty close on number 1, Tom Jenkinson. Sorry, on number 2. He's through the zone move, but techie work at the top.
Yeah, this guy's moving really well. He's moving really well on the wall. He looks quite calm and calculated. He has got himself into a wrong position here. He knows it.
Yeah, straight down it. That's better from Sienna. You can see the chalk on the volume there. We'll be aiming for that eventually.
Oh, he moved into the palm then. He is shaking his wrist and he has got tape on, so it's probably not going to be a comfortable position for him on that, but he does need to be swinging down onto the low volume.
Yeah. So he might have read that. He's got time. 2 minutes 20 now left. Has another look at it. He's looking at the second half of the boulder as well, which is always sort of telling that maybe he thinks he's figured this out. Jumps back up to that blocked. Good jug though. Starts to kick. He's going for him. No, back again. And we're watching Ellen there on women's 2. And who have we got on women's?
We have Maisie Rose.
18, 5'3", doing her swing.
Again, competed for a year and a half, so not loads of experience in competitions, yet still made semi-finals.
It's just, if you're watching at home thinking, I'd quite like to enter a comp, things like this are so brilliant, and they're all over the country. This is obviously the best, so come here. But yeah, it's kind of whatever level you can come and enter a qualifying session. You never know with an open quali. You know, you might suddenly find yourself in isolation with some of the world's best. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I think when you don't expect that can almost be a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
We have had one climber not appear today, and we don't necessarily know why. Maybe she actually didn't know she was in semi-finals. Who knows? Who knows?
It's true. Ooh, no hands there on the slab as Elias gets established into the zone. He stands up now. Reaches up into that pinch with the left hand.
Yeah, this is his 7th attempt. Not quite reading it right. The holdout, the opposing holdout left is really big, but he's really tucked in, so he might not actually be aware that it's not actually that far from him.
It's kind of over his shoulder, so he needs to have a little look away. People are asking about finals. Yes, it's tonight, UK time. So come and join us there. Again, live on Toby's channel. Shoulder move. Got to keep the tension here. Swaps feet. Tries to put the weight into that right foot, but can't make the match. And shakes out. Is going again on this slab. Leaps over. Tries to hit the second hold. And he's trying absolutely everything apart from the right beater here.
Just to give you a time on what time final starts, that is at 5:20. Athlete observation will be at 5:10. And I imagine we will be starting our stream in and around athlete observation time, like
Yes.
5 o'clock.
Exactly. Oh, nearly fell. Managed to catch it.
He's out of time.
Oh,
It
yes.
doesn't count. He needs to be called down because he's given the game away for the next climber.
He wanted to finish it, but he has to come down. All right, well, he'll sit on the mats. We reset. There's a nice crowd here in the climbing wall this morning. People are starting to filter in. There'll be a big one tonight as well. So the athletes will clean the holds and reset. The time does tick while they do this. Tom Jenkinson leading the way for the men with a top and a zone, and Ember is at the top because she hasn't had any attempts yet. Maisie in second, 18. Just look at those attempts on boulder number 1. It's one of those boulders where, as you said, learning, you just got to keep doing it until the move works.
Yeah, so Ember, again, looking down her sheet, has been competing since she was about 10 years old. So experience there. We'll see if dynamic climbing is her style. Really good first attempt, actually. Really good movement sideways and a bit of commitment to a bit of a test go.
Absolutely. Campusing out left here on men's 2. It's one of those rules that maybe, because the rules change, they wouldn't necessarily think about that drop down, but honestly, we've seen so many moves similar to that in international competitions. It won't be outside of their remit, that drop down.
Yeah, I think the rule came in initially because there were some unsafe moves being set where it wasn't actually that pleasant for the competitors to be doing, and it actually caused a few safety concerns. But then I think when you put a hard and fast rule in like that, it creates grey areas, especially when the route setters want to get creative, which I understand.
Yeah.
So I think taking the rule out is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think the route setters need to be sensible.
Yes, I agree. And we saw a top there on number 2. Casual top as he made that match. And Ember has another look here. She's experienced enough to not start to panic here. Plenty of time to get it done.
That was a flash of men's block 2, so that's our second flash. We've had Oliver and Andrew flash that.
Yeah, so the first half of the comp starting to make sense now. We know the hard boulders. But with 20 athletes and some pretty high-quality athletes to come, expect more tops on the way here.
Yeah, these athletes are coming out in reverse order of yesterday. So the first athletes out were in 20th place. Obviously, we're going to be moving up into the stronger athletes in the field as time goes on. We don't have a top in the women's yet, but there have been a few in the men, so it's putting the pressure on for later on. And I really do think attempts to bonus, and attempts to top are really going to matter.
Yeah, it's going to come out of fine margins here. So starting the lâcher, he's read it correctly there.
Oh, you can't pull back on. He had a little pull back on, which will, if the judges saw it, that will actually count as an attempt.
I'll have to wait and see.
Again, that's inexperience. He's been competing for around a year. He'll just be in his head, like trying the move.
Exactly.
Yes! Good catch, Ember. Really good catch. Really nice left foot plant at the perfect time.
Yeah, it was really good. Now out to the zone, she hits that as well. So points on the board for the women for the first time here. Ember will jump to the top of the leaderboard immediately. But more moves to come, Hal. The end is in sight.
The end is in sight, but this is a committing move. She needs to continue as she's... There we go. I was going to say, she needs to continue as she has the whole boulder and keep it together, and that's absolutely what she did.
Well done, Ember. Big smile on her face. And a top in 6. And when you look at the other attempts, that is very impressive from her. Asuka pulling back on. She's seen the face-out method, but she's very stretched out here.
The girls in isolation will have also heard a cheer. They might not necessarily know who that is, but I'm sure the MC was saying Ember, so they might know that there has now been a top on block 1.
Yeah, George on the mic for us, down at the front, doing a good job. Very strong climber as well as George Longsdale. He's a chief setter, right?
In Sheffield.
In Sheffield, yeah. Through with a high heel. Good work as she drops into that right hand. That crimp, I really like that right hand crimp.
It is a nice crimp, but she was super stretched out then. Again, not necessarily a wrong that being the wrong sequence. She's not the tallest climber, so either really needing to keep that tension or commit to a cut.
Yeah, she's got 30 seconds now, facing in this time. She's trying to push off her own knee to get established. It's business time for the athletes on the mat now. Not a lot of time to get this, and men's 4, quite a physical end to the set.
Yeah, and again with the women's block, even that being block 3, when I was competing, I would hate it as it got more powerful as we went through, because I was never in a para endurance climber. However, the women do have the slab at the end, which I would have loved. So,
yeah, that's coming up at the very end of our wall, right by our commentary box, in fact, so we can watch the athletes battle through that. Well, time goes. One last go for Prudence there. She'll have to come down. So Ember leading the way, Tom Jenkinson for the men, and we're looking for 6, remember. You can see the cut-off point. And Christie for the men down in 6th at the moment. Remember, 1 less female athlete than the men. That's why we've got this slight misorder in terms of boulders in action. Cleaning up those zones there, and giving that zone a nice rub.
Yeah, so if you've not watched much competition climbing on a screen before, maybe you are watching someone who's got into their first semi-final, who knows, the climbers aren't allowed to clean the blocks with their own brushes. It has to be with supplied brushes, and you'll also see bits of tape on the wall. So the starting position will be identified with 4 pieces of tape, 2 for feet and 2 for hands. They're not named though, so you could, if you wanted to, start upside down, but we don't.
Don't say that.
We don't suggest you do that.
Oh, going for the toe hook there, back on the start hole. I think it's more because he was falling off and just wanted a desperate toe in there. We'll have to see if he does that again.
Yeah, again, good reactions if that was the thing, just so he can maybe try something last second before he actually completes his fall.
Yeah, if he could have got the toe in, he might have saved himself. He couldn't that time.
So he's on a jug, I was going to say, but he's swinging with bent arms. He's actually straightened his arms, and the swing was a lot better. Just slipping off. He was really close. Next go, I think he'll be locked in.
Exactly right. James, we're watching on men's 1. He was only tried that toe catch. He hasn't done it again, so I think it was a fall and a desperate catch. Tried to bump that right foot up, but I think a bit too fast to do that sequence. And then this is Oliver here, who's having a long look at the start again. Facing in. I'd love to see someone make it work like that.
Yeah, I think your kind of typical blocks that you get at your local wall aren't regularly facing out, so it might not be something that a lot of people naturally think to do.
We are getting some questions about the scoring system here. I know the IFSC are changing the rules this year, so we're having a more of a decimal point system for the boulder, but we're back to the old system for this comp, with tops and zones. Getting stood up on the bottom right of your screen there. That's Elias heading towards the top of the boulder.
Yeah, it will be tops and zones here and then attempts, so not top and attempts and then down to zones.
That crimp, I was told it looks better than it is, the way he brought his right hand in. It looks, as an athlete, it looks okay, and you touch it and it's nasty.
Isn't that climbing in general?
For me, yes. Every hold. He cleans up those volumes. They will get covered in chalk, as you said, and as the heat rises, it will get a little bit more slippery out there. Now, this is the slab, and there's some techie, no-tex moves here. There's kind of the ish handhold, but more of just, as she does, just to move yourself over to the left rather than pull on it too hard. Face pressed against the wall. And the zone is way out to her left. She's currently looking kind of up. There's 2 holds that she's looking at. There's a sort of a later on no-tex, and then there's the zone out to the left, which is a big pinch.
A later on no-tex, what does that mean?
Yes, that makes no sense, does it? It's so after the zone hold, there's a no-tex hold.
There we go.
And she was looking up towards it. I think she was thinking about going direct, but then changed her mind. Oh, look, he just creeps that toe, trying to get the balance here.
Yeah, he stood quite far left on that lower volume as well. I know that's probably where he wanted to start with his foot, but it's gonna make this section a little harder. Good tension, really good tension. He's figuring it out. He's finding his way through. Fair play.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well done.
He tried it so dynamically the first few times, and it was good learning from him.
We're getting higher on men's 2 with Elias.
Now that's another method, going up with two hands. Upgrades the hands as
Elias, sorry, not Elias.
Elias now palm. Oh, pressing in. It's like an outdoor move, that. I love it. All right, so Tom brushes the hold. We flip back to women's number 1, where Maisie is trying this move. Leah, how much do you plan feet on a move like this? You can see kind of dancing those feet across. Like, are you literally planning out left foot there, right foot there, or is it kind of instinctual in the moment?
It's kind of instinctual, but for me, there's kind of like a vague area. So I know that my left foot needs to go so far, and then my right foot, needs to come in to a certain point, but it's not specific. Yeah. And then my left foot land would be the most important part. Maisie does say that her static is her favourite style, so she's probably not loving coming out to block 1 right now.
No, you can imagine when you see that thing. So all the boulders in action, 10 seconds on the clock. Oh, he's going to have to move here if he's going to get this done. He pressed before.
It's got to go quick, foot too low,
it's not
that's not going to work.
No.
You got to try.
Got to give it a go.
You got to try.
Yeah. All right, the rotation goes. Things hotting up here at Boulder UK for Plywood Masters. Hello for joining us. Lots of people watching throughout the world, which is cool to see. We've got people from Australia, lots of people from the UK, and there's lots of cup competitions going on at the moment. There's the Asian Cup, the European Cup, so thank you for joining us. We are the best cup, of course.
Yeah. Now, I'm hoping I'm not going to give Jacob commentator's curse, but on men's 1, Jacob Amos. Hails from Nottingham originally.
Okay.
Boop, boop. So this young fellow just walked up to Jewel in front and flashed it.
No way, really?
Now, I say flashed it. He did try it a very long time ago. I can't remember how long his dad said it was, but he just walked up this trip and just went up it. And then someone was like, I didn't get any pictures, so we just did it again.
Oh, wait. And if people don't know, Jewel is a notorious slab in font. And if you know slabs in font, you know that...
It's an 8A slab in font, so I'm expecting... No! My expectations are too high.
Well, they're clearly...
The holds are too big.
Yes.
The holds are too big.
Or it's an 8B boulder.
I mean, it is a vert wall, so...
I'm well impressed by that one. Right, campusing out left. It's tempting, isn't it, if you've got strong fingers, but I think it's a bit of a red herring, that.
Might be tempting that they kind of want to do it that way. It might be that he hasn't seen the intended way. It doesn't look like he has. There is a lot of chalk underneath that first volume, which you have to tap with your feet. But because he's tapped it with his feet, he might not be looking the other way.
True. Again, your slab master letting you down.
Oh, I don't know if I've... I've said the wrong things now. Come on, Jacob.
Looking at his hands. It's interesting. You were saying about how slippy those volumes would get. Clearly they have.
Yeah, but Eden getting closer. Eden Turner, women's block 1. She has been competing for 12 years. So she knows the routine. She knows what it feels like to not be able to do block and how much sometimes you have to turn it around anyway. Here we go. Jacob's up now. He was just having a warm-up.
I'm still amazed by the dual thing. I don't care if he does this boulder. He's a hero in my eyes. But big move to come to get towards the top here.
Big move. He is really good at being flexible, but he's also 6 foot. So we'll see. He's reading it. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, he wanted to span it out, but he couldn't make the match. He's got a chalk bag on as well. He's very scrunched up. He needs to get another foot in.
Good shapes. Easy.
There we go. Slab done. Good work. Now, this is the hold I was saying. He was looking down at his hands. He didn't like whatever was going on there, whether it was sweaty or whether it was just his skin. Holds this physical move with the match up towards the crimp I like, but no one else has, and a shake of the hands from her.
Yeah, that's a very, very different change of pace for the women to move into block 3, especially if you've struggled with the first 2 moves on the blocks. You're like, okay, I've got some bigger holds, but you've really got to use some beans to get between them.
Absolutely. Well, current leader there, Emma, was on the screen. In the trousers on women's 2. And she's facing in with a slightly weird foot there. And changes her mind, yeah. And you can see some more power there. I think Aska, definitely more of a power climber. She's locked in that first couple of moves.
Yeah, she's given this some good tries. You can see the effort being put into it.
And the men's drop down move. Everyone's tried it different ways. Now, M4, very, very powerful again, you know, as an end to the boulder. So your worst nightmare there.
Yes, that is my worst nightmare. Again, speaking to the setters, that is the men's hardest block. So they're saving the hardest till last. They do need to split 20 strong athletes into 6.
Yeah.
And 6 will go through to final.
Yeah, M4 could be the decider. We'll wait and see how it plays out. There is Ember. Now she faces out. Good work from her to figure that. And that top is because of on the slab. Sorry, the shout from the audience was the slab. All right, swinging here.
Yes.
Kicks left.
Here she goes. She knows she's got it. Look, she's getting all excited. She's going really quick. She's got 30 seconds left on the clock.
We just caught Prudence there. She was one hand away from topping the slab. As close as you can get. That's the kick. Good work. She missed the foothold as well.
Missed the foot, but really good that she had the kind of instincts to not even bat an eyelid about that. She was like, well, my foot's on. I feel good. Just popping off, though. Maybe the slope is not feeling fantastic for her, but she's secured her zone.
Yes, she has. 5 seconds. It's not going to be enough time. She came so close. She's going to be frustrated with that one, but she has to finish the competition in second place, but only a zone. You think that might not be enough for finals?
Potentially not, but again, there's been stranger things happen in competition.
True. Yes, there's some GB athletes who will come out later on. We're missing a few of them this year. Everyone's got different commitments, of course, as we build up towards the season.
Yeah, I mean, the route setting team here, Boulder UK always get a strong setting team in. And I don't mean that like physically. I mean, just their depth of experience. You've got Max Ayrton, international route setter. You've got Yang Janu, sorry if I don't say your name right, international route setter. You've got Dave Barons. Dave Barons has won this comp 5 times on the trot in the past. And you've got James Garden, also really strong climber, really good route setter, route sets all the time. So the route setting team here to set obviously really good blocks and test these climbers.
Yeah, I really feel this competition, you watch this in a couple of years, this will be one of those that everyone goes to. Because, as a pro athlete, you want boulders similar to what you're going to have in World Cups. And this is what this comp is. It's a brilliant one for the future.
And it's just been going on for so long. Competed in this as, dare I say it, a child. Feels a long time ago. Well, it was a long time ago. That's why it feels a long time ago.
You should be out on the mats again, Leah.
No.
Straight no. That ain't going to happen. All right, well, we're looking at all of our boulders now as we scan down this wall.
Maisie Rose just struggling with the first move on women's 3. Not sure whether it's a one-hand, a two-hand. But Jessica...
Yes, on women's 1.
Making good decisions on block 1.
Yes, she is. Block 1, we've seen one top on it. And now on women's 2, we're watching Maisie here, back down on the ground, having a look. And then Maisie Rose. We've got a Maisie and a Macy Rose, which I keep messing up. Apologies about that. Yeah, people are asking about Toby. We're on his channel. He will be out later. Yes, he qualified in 3rd position for that one. Right, power boulder we're watching now. You've got to let go of that right hand at some point. Very shouldery. She tries to pinch it.
She's trying to pinch it. She's also toe hooking with the right foot, which I think is just dragging her down a little bit.
Back on the slab. Tiptoes that right foot on, trying to put pressure into it. Needs 2 hands on that underclink.
Making a little bit of progress on M4. Tom. Definitely can see it's the hardest block, even if it is the 4th block as well.
And you saw our graphic flash up, Jessica getting the zone there. One hand on the top, but not quite. And head in her hands.
And that was the commitment that I was talking about earlier. She did the move, she wanted to do it, but it was maybe 90% commitment, and I don't think there's the room error for that.
No, agreed. Got to go for it up there. Erin McNeice, not at this competition. Remember last year she was injured, I think, and couldn't do the semi-final.
Yeah, she pulled. Yeah, she pulled out. Yeah, she has other work commitments.
Yeah, Erin, one of our up-and-comers in the British team after her breakout year last year, but we've got plenty of others in this comp. Holly Toothfield climbing in last position as a top qualifier for the women. And we're watching Sam Rigby here get stood up. I think at 5'7", he might kind of be a good height to fit into that position on the top.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it would be a comfortable box for him to get in, but the important thing is he actually needs to get there.
And he's a way off at the moment.
In-cut crimps are his favourite style. He's technically a speed climber. So again, he has not done badly to be kind of midfield at Plywood semis.
Well, that's technically a speed climber. It's great. Yeah, the British speed climbing team, have an eye on them in the next couple of years. We've got a few people sort of paving the way for the British speed climbing team and more facilities coming in. So I'm expecting that British team to really step up in the next few years. Now, can he get into this box at the top that we were talking about?
There she is. There we go.
Yeah, you could see it coming. Couldn't get it the first time. She got up there, got it the second time. Good work from her.
Really good to see that little change in effort at the top move as well.
Yeah, she read it well. This is the slab on the top left. Oh, wow. Going foot first through that sequence. Cool to see, but I think it's going to work.
Alternative beta maybe, but she really needed to swivel that to a left drop knee and not a right drop knee, which would have been a big ask, I think.
Up he goes again. Catches it.
Not long enough on the clock. No. And I think he knew it. He was standing up quick. He was making big decisions and they were paying off, but he didn't have enough time.
I keep getting confused by the 3-second buzzer.
Normally it's longer, isn't it? That's why I thought I'd say it earlier, because anyone kind of looking at home or anyone that's used to different competitions, they might be used to a longer buzzer. It's a really important thing that I'd want to know as an athlete, and probably something that I would have asked in ISO. How long's our buzzer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit new for me, that one, so I keep thinking, oh, they've got 5 seconds, but it's less time than that. So it really can scare you as an athlete. So Ember is on women's 4? Yeah.
3.
3, sorry.
Yeah.
Squinting at the screen there. She's our current leader, but only one top, so she will like another boulder to cement that position. And all action here, facing in on women's 2, kicking that left foot out.
Yeah, you can see how moving in that position is really hard, because you've literally got a wall in your face. So being able to face out means you've got more room for your hips to be in, and you don't have a wall in your face. It's always nice.
Always ideal, isn't it? Jacob, our slab king, is nearing the top. Chalking up again. If that's the crimp where his left hand was, I said, isn't as good as it looks. And he will want a right hand on it.
Really good hips. Amazing flexibility for him to just sit into that position. I'm just going to hold my breath for a minute because I want him to top it out.
It's nervy, isn't it? Brings that left foot in one hand on the final hold.
Jacob.
Stands up tall, makes
well
the match.
Done.
You've got to be careful not to touch top of the wall there. It's right there.
Yeah, and I think, breaking that negative space at the top is anyone, I guess it's easier for the judges if one person does it to let everyone do it. It's going to be a grey area if you've not got a wall in front of you, so that would be down to the move and the structure of the place, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Once you're there, you've done a lot of work to get there, so let's give it him.
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, you have to be a bit careful as an athlete there, just not to break the rules too much. So we were looking at the slab, big holds, but bad holds, those pinches, but good to stand on, you were saying. On the slab for the women.
The volume is really grippy. I've not actually seen that brand of volume before, so I just went down, had a little feel, because sometimes you never know if everyone's slipping off. Is it because it's a really fine grained volume? Mm-hmm. Is it really hard? But actually, it is really grippy.
This is Felix.
Just looking a little bit lost with what he needs to do. Oh, you can't touch that wall. There is black tape down that right-hand corner, so I couldn't see if he touched it or not, but he's not been called down.
No, we'll wait and see. Appeals and stuff can come through, whether there's that in place here, I don't know. He wants a knee there.
Yeah, we obviously do have the stream to look back on if appeals are put in. I guess it depends if these athletes have anyone looking out for them in the crowd.
Well, he's got 2 fingers in the final hold. He needs to match, pops the foot, and down he goes.
Wiping his hands on his shorts there. He's on a slab and he's not taking his chalk bag. I am going to say rookie error.
Felix.
And actually looking down, he's been competing for a year. So there you go, Felix. chalk bag on a vert wall or a slab.
He's just written power for his favourite type of block, so he might struggle with that one. Oh, but look at that, catching lefts. That is, some names here. We've got Andrew on M4, who did make good progress into the groove where that zone is.
Yeah, he has got the zone as well, which will be big points on the board for him. That will matter.
Asker went to the hold that I was talking about and described badly, and then went out to the zone. Sure.
So Asker, interestingly, has forgotten her contact lenses and her glasses.
Wow.
So if we see if she's struggling a little bit with knowing where to go on the hold, it might be because she's having a little hard time seeing.
Absolutely, I want to point it out. She's literally below us right now.
Yeah, you can see her kind of squinting a little bit to see, especially on the slab.
Well, this is the
where
lady
to hold.
climbing blind here. She goes up. Tiptoes towards the zone. I don't know if she will be awarded it now, I think, as she moves those feet.
Yeah, she'll be in with that one.
Yeah, you can't just touch the zone. You have to show the judges that you're using it.
Yeah, climbing for 2 years, are relatively new to competition. Things like getting things in your comp bag is part and parcel of learning, isn't it?
I know a few athletes out there who do very similar things.
I know athletes that have been competing for many, many years, and they still do the same things.
Yep. Yeah, experience doesn't always help.
No.
Up he goes again. Now, he fell before. He hasn't brought a chalk bag this time either. I guess you just got to be quicker on the move, right? Because the longer you're on that palm, the sweatier your hands are going to get.
Maybe. If you don't feel strong enough to hold it, he really needs to move his... Can you see he's not able to match that without his second foot on, which means he needs to lower his feet so he's got more room to bring his second leg up. But that does require hip flexibility, hip flexor strength in order to lift your leg up when you're in an awkward position. That top move isn't as straightforward as some of these climbers are making it look.
It is a tricky end to things. You can see so many people just want to just crimp it and match, but it's very difficult to do that. And this wall, such a cool comp wall. It's got lots of angles. We've got slabs down on the left and right, big overhangs in the middle. It's the setter's dream here, and they have really been playing with these boulders. And we talked about setting a lot, but shout out to the setting team who were working late into the night here. There's a lack of skin from all of the setters this morning.
That's part and parcel of their job. They might complain about it, but there's no sympathy here. Sorry.
That's very mean. I'm scared of the setters. So that was Leah Crane who said that, setters, if you're listening.
Catherine McDougall, women's 1, sticking that first move, second go.
Yeah, she's had a fair bit of experience, I think, in the comp world.
Yeah, she has competed for, well, she's saying 10 years on here, so, you know, that is a long time. I do think that her experience, understanding, knowledge of the moves is there, so she'll be able to know what to do, and then it will just be down to whether she can execute that move or not.
Yeah, watching another experienced athlete here, Finn, 9 years at climbing comps. Chesterfield is his hometown. As he looks towards the top, gets a left heel in.
Describe Plywood Masters in 3 words: pretty damn good.
I like that one. I would agree, but he's got to get this sequence now, pressing up on the left.
Well, he's pulling on the left, really, and he's kind of half pulling on the right, but he's on a full layback here.
I think once he gets that roll,
here we go. Can you see how his left foot's really low, and he's locked off with his right arm, and it just means that you can get wedged in. Sorry, I stopped talking then because I thought he was about to do a bad thing to his back.
Oh, Maisie looking confused out there. Not enjoying this. She got very close before. Has the zone and hands on hips and needs to reset here. Lots of times to do that.
So yeah, that's Catherine. Interestingly, dropping the move again. I think a really important skill for competition climbers is once you've learnt a move, is being able to execute it again and again. And that's definitely something that you can do in training. Just because you've done a hard move doesn't mean that's it. You've done it. You need to get back on, do it, and be able to do it every time. In cases like that where you might be falling off the top move. I mean, the last slab that we had, the women's slab that we had in the top left corner, that's not a pushover. That slab looks really mean, and a lot of the little jibs that they've got on the volumes there are dual techs.
Yeah, they're very slippy to hold onto, those holds. You're always kind of insecure throughout that boulder. The power boulder, though, has proved problematic for everyone so far. Drops in, that move just saps your strength.
Yeah, Maisie doing really well though. She's looking good. It's whether, coming out, you can't actually tell how steep that part of the wall is, but coming out of there is a big flick. Really good hips from Catherine. She kept them into the wall when she needed to. She doesn't look very impressed that took her 4 goes, but hey, that's comp climbing.
Yeah, you can read that body language, can't you? So she'll head back as she falls down, just teetering off that slab and falling off the midway mark there. M4, very powerful start. Good holds at the beginning, but you're really scrunched up and you've got to come way out above your head.
Bad feet and low feet as well, though, on that point. Making connection really hard to do. I believe this is a high point for women's too.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is good work here towards the zone. It's a mean zone, this one. It's far up the boulder.
It's far at the border, but this part of the wall that the zone is on is a slab. So if you can get your hand to it, the holding part shouldn't be too bad unless you've got a really big swing, and that'll depend on how much you've given that pop or that jump.
50 seconds on the clock as he gets through that first physical move.
Yeah, Elias really, really bearing down. So that will be a zone. Again, important part for the men's comp. I don't necessarily think it'll be always enough to get into the final, but I think it will really bring you up the leaderboard, just to get a few zones here and there. Like literally, some of the men have a few zones.
Yeah, it's a good point. We haven't seen that many tops yet. More for the men than the women. The top 4 women down to Jessica have all topped the first boulder. And from then on, it's anyone's guess at the moment. Ooh, clever toe around the corner, but doesn't quite work. So she will reset, and our athletes file in from the back. It will start to get empty in the isolation zone now. And we have a change at the top of the leaderboard for the women as well. Eddie Carr leading the way with a quick top of women's number 1. That's impressive stuff, isn't it? Because we talk about boulder number 1 being like maybe a learning boulder. The fact she got it in 2 moves, she learnt quickly. Sorry, 2 goes,
2
she learnt
attempts.
quickly.
Yeah. I've seen Edie on a lot of variety of climbs. I would say that she might have a favourite, but I think when I see her climbing, she generally moves pretty well. Yeah, she's really not given much away on her sheet for favourite style and etc. So
yeah, she was. Yeah, we have lots of because some of these athletes we know obviously, and some are more unknown as they come through the ranks, and they've been filling out forms for us. We've got climbing heroes as one of them. I hadn't seen that. That's brilliant. I want to see the climbing heroes. Right, so pulling on Eddie, our current leader for the women. Edie. I keep saying Eddie, don't I? Sorry, Edie.
Oh, Amber just pipping her though now with a bonus on. A zone on women's 4. So she's got the zone on the slab.
Yeah, she's coming very close to the top of. And then there is the slab. That is a top, the first one on the slab. She'll go back to the top of the leaderboard as things flick again. Heating up here at Plywood Masters. Athlete number 8, Tom Healy, underway. Tom is, who's his climbing hero? His climbing hero is Sam Hubstone, who I have no idea who that is.
He was out first.
Oh, yes, of course. Leah's just pointing at a piece of paper in front of me, yes. Good point.
Yeah, they're probably buddies that they train with, but that's really nice actually that he's put that as his climbing hero. I think, sometimes, I don't know if they train together, I'm guessing they do, but yeah, sometimes they can really be your biggest influence who you actually spend more time with.
Yeah. Alright, zone here as he gets stood up. Felix is close.
Is he going for the clamp? He is. This will hold, hopefully, yeah, he needs 2 feet on. Hips are sticking out, maybe not as comfortable in that position as maybe some of the other climbers that we've seen, but if his left hand goes up to that hold, he's not going to make it to the top.
You can't match it, can you? It's a nasty one. Frog squatting down, hits the right hand, but a bit too dynamic with that.
Yeah, hips out a little bit. It's easy sometimes, like even if you put a lot of work into stretching, it can still sometimes be really hard work and feel horrible. So the more you can do, the easier these moves will feel.
Now that is
Jacob.
there.
Yeah, Jacob just kind of reading that swing wrong. Edie facing in. Looks like she's going to try and break it a little bit. She's definitely done blocks where she's been facing out before. Maybe she'll start to look at that in a few goes time.
Yeah, she has got time. 2 minutes. We've got Tom back on the wall here. And Tom will creep that right foot up, just toes. Now hits more of... Oh, that was a good catch from him. And out into this shouldery move as he tries to get stood up on that right foot. He'll be happy to get the right engaged down the left now. And then campusing his way up is Felix again towards the zone. He's looked really comfortable up to this point, and then we see the falls come.
Yeah, I think it's quite, in a way, a semi-straightforward climb up to there, and then it all just gets a bit weird and slopey at the top.
No, I agree. Tom, one move away then, drops the feet down, gets the left on. I think he should be able to get the position from here.
Move your hips to the right, buddy. Weight the right hand. Oh, or just stay totally still.
Yeah, just about had the control. The judges will give that. So he's got a minute more to rest. Edie pressed into the wall rather than out.
Yes, Jacob. Now he's seen it. He's spotted the way.
Very interesting to me that not many have read that first move yet, that drop down. Everyone's trying everything apart from that. He is giving it a go, though.
Yeah, I almost think it's when you don't want something to be the case that you kind of just try some other things. But he's seen the toe hook early. But that match does look hard. I mean, again, he's a tall climber. When you start using toe hooks in comp climbing, there can be heights of a climber that make it easier or harder.
Yeah. Really?
I know I talk about height a lot in some of these climbs, but whilst it's something that obviously everyone just has to get on with and deal with, I definitely think it makes a big difference to the difficulty of some of these boulders.
Yeah. And the way you do it as well, you have to make adjustments for your own height, know your body, and sort of figure out the boulders.
Hannah Kerr sticking the dynamic move on women's one. She's run out of time. Oh, the face, you can see. So that's disappointing, especially when you've just unlocked it.
Yeah. You never do it again.
And you've got to actually just jump down.
Yeah. It's a harsh world, is climbing. All right. Well, we are more than halfway through here, this semi-final. And that is Rebecca brushing number one. And hello to the chat. I'm not going to talk to you guys on chat too much, but if there's any questions that come up that especially Leah next to me can answer, I will pass those on. But do keep those comments coming. I love the community that you guys are doing on YouTube, on Toby's channel, so thank you very much.
Especially if you're supporting a particular climber. Maybe there's some parents or family out there that are watching that aren't being able to be here today, or a local wall.
Yep.
Yeah, give them a shout out.
Yeah, please do. And hammer that heart button when you're about it. Let us know you're listening and enjoying things. Okay, so 2 screens in action, facing out on boulder 2.
Facing out straight away. This is her flash attempt, so that's been her first decision to face out to the crowd.
Yeah, I think comp experience is important on that. I mean, you walked up to that boulder and immediately were like, oh, face out. Whereas I walked up to that boulder and looked face in.
I had a little think. I faced in and was like, I feel a bit close.
Yeah.
And I was like, turn around. I was like, okay, there we go. Topping out men's 2.
Yeah, careful with the feet, but it should be in from here. Don't touch the top of the wall. Be careful. There he goes.
Nice spin.
Yeah, smooth work up there. It's easy to panic, and he did it well. Exploding backwards there, firing off.
Again, with Catherine, she knows what to do. It's just down to actually executing each move.
So the brushes are in action here. Lots of athletes coming through the boulders. This is the slab at the end of the wall. It's very slow. You got to, after that power boulder where your heart rate goes up, you got to calm things down for this climb. Seeing lots of people go up towards that hold. I don't think the setters intended it like that.
No, but I think it feels closer because you've got to go so far left for the zone. It's really over your left foot. If you don't particularly like standing on slopey footholds, that's not going to be something you're going to want to do. The slab really is mind games.
Yes, it is. And coming at the end, your mind might be a bit frazzled by then.
And this is Rebecca Stevens on women's 1. She stuck the dynamic move. I think yesterday she didn't feel that happy with how she climbed, but making good movements on block 1.
Yeah, she's in.
Really good.
I think so. It's pretty safe to say to make the top 6, you're going to have to get women's 1. So she's done that.
She's a local girl as well. I think that will add a little bit of pressure onto her with it being a home wall.
Yeah, she'll know the angles on this wall really well. Of course, you won't know the climbs. Things are kept very, very secret. Everyone was locked out of the climbing wall this morning.
Maisie looking like she wanted to not go for the zone then. She wanted to avoid it.
Which is possible if you top the boulder, but dangerous if you don't, obviously.
Yeah, it is risky, but sometimes that might be what you need to make your own way through if you're not loving the way that it was maybe intended.
Yeah, it terrifies me when athletes do it, honestly. I'm just like, touch the zone, please get some points on the board.
Go on, Catherine, good fight. Really, you could see her really trying there. She had a lot of leverage on her right hand.
Might be the first to the zone then on boulder 2. Up with the left. I'm not sure if that's going to count.
Very poor looking hold. It's like super slopey. I feel like that move's maybe a little bit more powerful than what it seems initially.
Lovely somersault dismount there. Enjoyed that one. I want a golden button. You know, on, what is it, like Pop Idol or The Voice, where the judges can press a button? I want to do that.
You're showing your age.
I'm very old. Does Pop Idol not exist anymore?
No.
No?
I don't think, not in the UK anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, disaster.
I think it's Britain's Got Talent.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't live in the UK here, all right?
Excuses.
Yeah, sticking with them. Let me know, chat. I know there's American Idol. Right. Back to climbing.
Yeah.
So this big swing out, he's really going for a big... Oh, wow, that was interesting. So tried to catch with the left and...
Yeah, kind of looking to palm, but I think you need to be about a metre lower. He was looking to palm the higher volume, but it's so poor. Maybe, though, with that in mind, he might unlock that sequence and actually figure out what the low foot holds for.
Right, standing up. She's standing on that left foot, which is the horrible one, the slopey hold.
She is really looking like she's second-guessing it, though, and as soon as you start to second-guess it, you see her hips moved out from the wall, and you'll follow it.
Yeah.
You'll follow your hips wherever they go.
Yeah, lots of hesitation there. Right, out. Missed the thumb catch a little. Slightly low. He goes for this big swing. Needs to be a metre lower.
Yeah, and he's really swinging left. And again, in my head, I'd be... Yes, I root set, but I'd be like, why have they put a massive volume at the bottom of the wall if I'm not using it?
Good point, yep. It's just, I think it's because it looks like a big swing. You think you've got to go a long way left. So it's an interesting bit. I quite like it when setters put something like that in. Went for the double jump there.
Yeah, Maisie looking like she was actually starting to unlock it, but she was very out of time.
Yeah, very.
And maybe given a few beta hints to the next climber.
Yes, there was a turnaround there, wasn't there? Oh well, she will reset and scrub that hold anyway. Finn leading the way. 2 tops, 2 flashes for Finn. That happened so quick, I don't think I saw it. But Finn is leading the way. Yeah,
I think especially when we've got a few split screens going on and there's a lot of action, when somebody does something so quick, you're like, oh,
yeah,
they did that.
Yes. Ruth now, her first climb of the morning.
Good movement, good foot. Now she needs to, again, make the connection and make the opposition between hand and foot.
Yeah. We had lots of qualifiers yesterday. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but I know it was up on last year. And there were 30 boulders in action yesterday. So much fun. 2 sessions, pros in both of them.
And that'll be something, hopefully, that the route setters do take into account. Obviously, it is a lot of blocks to climb in one day. Skin preservation is a big thing. Conditions are another. Luckily, we're a bit cooler than yesterday. Yesterday was a warm day. So hopefully these climbers are being a little bit savvy with their warm-ups and not wasting too much skin.
Yeah, good point. You don't want to win warm-up, do you? Which we sometimes see. Fred Williams is on boulder number 1. We can just see him there on the bottom right of your screen. Back to Ruth, though. She's got through the first sequence here pretty quick.
Yeah, looking like she's climbing in control, just figuring out a few things. You can't climb in too much control, though.
No.
Because it's definitely going to make things a lot harder. It looked like she was doing it the right way, and then she second guessed and started trying to do it more in control, because she's already done one scary move at the start. I don't mean scary as in like actual scary.
Low percentage.
Yeah, just kind of easily fall off.
Yeah, and you could. I love how we're getting obbled to everything here. Both of us are doing this obbles. All right, so Power Women's 2. We haven't seen anywhere near the top of that yet. That's on your main screen. That was closer. Back to our men's stab. Yeah, she's touched the zone.
I was going to say, still on. She won't be awarded that, or she wouldn't have been if I was judging.
No.
Not to be harsh, but that wasn't in control.
No, it wasn't.
But really good progress nonetheless.
Yeah, and Ruth is through to this second boosty move here. Looks left. Oh, she tries statically again. He does not want to jump into that. And we're approaching a top here. Very important to get this one done. Up he goes. He's going to go, I think, maybe with left hand first. No, now changes to the right.
Yeah, this is Fred Williams. He, I would want to say not that long ago, was a little bit injured, so it's good to see him back on the wall and climbing again.
And then facing in, try-hard faces going on here.
Ruth's favourite style is slab, so again, she really good to stick this first move, but possibly an explanation as to why then she kind of shuts down with that movement a little bit after she's completed it.
So just under 2 minutes on the clock now. Ember leading the way for the women, Finn Jackson, the 2 flashes for the men. And we have got Jacob in action, who's in on the wall on boulder number 4. And Ruth again, she's done it statically somehow, brings the right hand in. Right, 1 move to go. Oh, big heel hook.
Oh,
I think
that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think she does just need to sort of loosen up a bit, actually, and just go for some of these moves. She's trying everything so controlled. So this is Hannah.
So it's Hannah Kerr. She has been facing out. She has been facing in. I figure maybe she's just trying to see what seems the better way to do it, but struggling a little bit with that. Yes, Edie Carr. Zone complete.
First one, right? Yeah. The second one. Sorry.
Yeah.
2 people so far. Ember getting that.
And after these climbers, we do have 5 more to complete your semi-finals, which 20 people went through.
Oh, sorry, it is the first zone on women's 3. So yeah, first athlete to get that. Oh look, we might get a top here on women's 1. Yes, we do. Ruth went through everything to get that one. That was a gutsy climb.
Yeah, and fair play to sticking to her style.
Yeah.
You know, there's us sitting here in the chair, well, me sitting here in my chair being like, oh, we might have to commit to these moves. But actually, she's like, no, I'll do it my way, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Please ignore us, especially me in the commentary box.
Yeah.
And a top as well on men's 2. All action here. And that's the slab at the very end. And that's good progress from Eden.
That's, yeah, really good progress. And then look like, I don't know, just a little wobble. Again, that's all you need on a slab, unfortunately, is bring you back down.
Yeah, and that wobble puts paid to her comp. She leaves, which means we have a new rotation through as we go towards our top 5 or so athletes now. That should be Isabella for the women in the grey shorts. I think, anyway. Yeah, we just had Ruth, right? Yes, so we should have Isabella.
I think we had Ruth Yeomanson. We might have Ruth Hardy.
Oh, we got 2 Ruths. I'm so sorry. You are right. I can't read. Apologies. I'm so glad you're here.
It's been a few days, hasn't it?
Let's go with that. All right, so big swing and missing that left crimp. He's again going for that slight red herring jump over to the left.
Yeah, Finn Jackson, experienced in comps though. Again, I'd be asking, like, why is that volume there if I'm not swinging down to it? Why is it so big? Sometimes I think getting into a route set of mine can hinder you, but having those questions available, I think, is useful to steer.
Yeah, and a really sort of good learning experience at the beginning of the comp season as well. You know, sometimes setters throw things in and it's up to the athletes to learn. Trying to trust that left foot now is Jessica as she stands up away from the zone, now goes towards it.
There we go, she'll be awarded it.
So points on the board.
Really good calculated movement. She's obviously spent, good hold, she's obviously spent a little bit of time on a slab. That the top of the volume she's standing on is full dual text. That is a very slippy left foot. Ironically, it was her right foot that slipped.
Right, now this is Ruth Hardy, who I called Isabella, apologies, but Ruth coming very close to the top. And a bit of a neck tweak there, it looked like.
Yeah, second attempt as well. That was fast from her. I'm hoping that it's not too bad and that she can pull it again next go. Good learning from Finn. Yep. He now knows what the big black volume at the bottom of the wall's for.
He's figured that one out. So Reese up onto the sloper, not much for the hands there, or the feet.
So looks really in control. Yeah. Really in control, and that particular hold that he was going for is one of my least favourite. I do not approve of those holds.
That right foot, now the left foot she's got there, that was put on quite last minute by the setters, a bit of a tweak, and clearly being used. And this is the close-up of the slab. This is a nasty left hand. It's good texture, as we said, but it's still a horrible foot to stand on. And then you got a second one as well as she creeps towards. Good moves from her. Left foot now on no tech, so very slippery.
Yeah, and this is where she came off before, just with the right foot, maybe transitioning the weight over, pulling out a bit too much. Hopefully, again, she'll have learnt from that last time and be confident with this move. Yeah, here we go.
Green lines indicate the part you can't hold on to, the top of the wall. She stays underneath, and that is a top.
Little celebration on the way. Look of relief and celebration on the way down.
All right, good work from her. Finn, meanwhile, will go again.
Yeah, I mean, that's bumped her up currently into second position. So that's 2 climbers now with 2 tops, but no other zones on the blocks.
Yeah, this is Reese going up. There's the right hand, right by that photographer's camera. Be careful, sir. Could be a top for him. It should be from Reese. Yes, good work. So Reese gets a top there. He will sit down for 1:15. The athletes sitting on the edge of the mats, they're the ones who go next. They face away from the wall so they don't get any beta hints while they're out there. M4, we haven't talked a lot about this climb because we haven't seen many people progress here. There's the zone.
Yeah, and I think actually from the screen it doesn't look like that far, but the climbers are actually halfway up the block when they're getting the bonus. Even though it looks like they've only done a few moves off the floor, it does look absolutely desperate. And the penultimate hold that you're going to is even worse. So with the stronger climbers starting to creep out, we're still not seeing many people get higher than what we've seen already. But again, we've got Toby, we've got Max, we've got Sam, Jim. Very, very different climbers, very different styles. Especially when you stand someone like Stephen Kerr next to Jim Pope, the difference in height and Jim being more of a rock climber than a comp climber, and yeah, I think that's just why I love competition sometimes, because you get so many different people coming together to do the same thing.
I agree. Yeah, it's what's so wonderful about this sport. So there is Jim Pope. I had a chat with him yesterday. He's not competing next year for the IFSC circuit, turning his attention to other things. But really good to have him here. To be honest, Jim Pope's kind of my hero. I remember watching... and he's just repeated a very hard climb at Burbage South. So outdoor climber, as you were saying, super strong. Great head game on him for trad climbing.
If anybody knows dynamics of change at Burbage South, it's a Pete Whitaker first ascent.
With the crazy heel, right?
With a crazy, crazy, crazy heel. And I mean, the whole climb's just crazy. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, just go and look at it online.
Yeah, if you want to watch Pete Whitaker with the most try-hard you've ever seen in a video, watch that one, because it's awesome. Right, Jim gets stood up towards the zone now, creeps over. He's often on YouTube as well, makes great climbing videos.
He's got the techers as Jim. Sometimes he sometimes has just a bit of a fumble day in competitions, and that's just him, but his technical ability is there, his strength is there. He actually just needs to bring it all together on the same day, and then he has a great session.
Yeah, Willie Howard, it'd be great to have him in the finals. Bumps up the left hand, pressing.
Izzy making quick work of block 1, so quick we didn't really see it. Edie making good work on block 4. And Jim figuring out the match. There we go.
Is that a flash for Jim?
That is a flash for Jim, yeah.
We go back to the slab. Then, that right foot, it's kind of blind when you stand in it. It's just a shallow dish, and as you can see, very easy to pop off it.
Important flash for Jim there, because there has been flashes further down the board. I mean, they're above him right now because they've done more blocks, but the top boys are going to need to keep their attempts low, I think.
Yeah, agreed. And Finn Jackson is leading the way, 11 attempts on boulder 3, so suddenly stopping his momentum a bit. And we've got Felix here going towards that zone. Such a hard move for the men, that. And Ruth back on.
We've got a swing down for men's 3 straight away. Yes, Tom. It is Tom, isn't it? Tom Healy, yes.
Yes.
Good read from that.
Yeah, remember the athletes do not read these boulders together. So they have to figure it out themselves out on the mats.
I know I would say I don't know another sport like it. You don't get to see your track, if you want to call it that. You don't get to see your way. You just react as soon as you're on the mat straight away. You don't get any practice. I know you all know this from home because you're all climbers, but
no, I think it's worth seeing.
It's good to highlight that, that I don't really know. Please, somebody, if somebody knows of another sport.
There is one. The only reason I know this is because we were chatting about this in Olympics. I think it's something to do with horse riding.
Oh.
But there's some other sport, but it's so rare.
Okay.
And that was something that everyone says to me anyway. Is like, wow, your sport. Like, how do they know?
Yeah,
is it not confusing?
Yeah. Sometimes we don't know what to do. A lot of the time we don't know what to do. Edie I'm not really knowing why she came off then. Maybe slipping off the hands a little bit. That was kind of a non-fall, but still she fell off.
Yeah. She'll have to reset. She's got time. There's Ruth here. She faces in. Let's see if she can make this sequence work. Stands up. It's very awkward like that. You're being pushed backwards. It hurts your back a bit. I love the fact he's read this. Last time he got a sort of an arm involved. This time he's in with the palms. There's the arm as he starts pressing. Someone said rally driving, you don't get to see the course. I think there's a preview in rally driving, though.
But you also, do you not have a partner in rally driving that tells you what corners are coming up at what speed?
Maybe we should bring that into climbing. We'll have someone shouting out instructions.
A caddy.
Yes. Hard left pull.
I love that. Maybe that's an idea for a new team comp.
That could be,
Yeah, there is no observation for semi-finals, so they don't know what's coming. The clock starts 5 minutes on the mat, and you make it up in front of you as you go along. And again, that's where route reading will really come into play for climbers that have competed for a long time, and ones with less experience may be struggling with actually figuring out what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're called boulder problems for a reason, aren't they? They've got to work it out on the mats, and this is why we enjoy watching it. And there's only 14 seconds, though, for these athletes to figure things out here. Oh, powerful move down low. And this big move out left. Having some wonderful suggestions, by the way, of sports that you don't know. Orienteering, yes, good point. Chess 960. Well, you don't know that. I have no idea what chess 960 is. Thank you guys for joining in on the chat. There is the man who we are jumping on his YouTube channel, Mr. Toby Roberts in action, the Olympic champion. And what a year last year this man had. He went from devastation at the World Champs in Bern. He was telling me last night, him and his dad walked around the empty Bern Stadium thinking what might have been, and then months later winning the gold medal in Paris. What a moment that was. And he will have lots of support from this crowd here.
Yeah, he's got his Olympic shorts on. Maybe they're his lucky shorts.
Oh, he has, hasn't he?
I think one thing to bear in mind with the climbers that are doing the comp season is they're definitely not peaking for this competition.
No.
So whilst they might be really good at climbing and obviously really strong, they're not going to be looking to be in their best shape.
Yeah.
And they're going to be training really hard, which means you're not going to be performing as you would want to. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean we don't have high expectations of them.
No, we're expecting big things, but he wasn't comfortable first. He almost lost that right hand here. And this is interesting. He's tall, but is he that tall? He is?
He is, yeah.
Good work from Toby.
Yeah, the fight on Toby, he's definitely one that can fight.
Oh, yes, he is indeed. That first gold medal he won in Brixton, loved watching that battle he had.
A good zone there from Rebecca Stevens. Not been awarded it yet, but she did move off it, so...
Yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. All right, getting towards the top now. Catherine is close. Gotta trust that right foot, though. He can't really see it. And then you got to weight it in a minute. She doesn't like it, making little adjustments, trying to get the point of the shoe into that.
Yeah, she does have very soft shoes on, which does help for slab, but it doesn't help for very teeny tiny foothold standing.
Yes. Creeps onto it, though. Just one move away. Pops into it a bit. That was risky. got to bring that foot
There we go. Very flexible.
Yeah.
Very flexible.
up. Good work. Catherine McDougall will move up the leaderboard with that one. That'll be 2 tops for her. Rebecca's changed to face in now. Knee pressing against. She's very spread out. It's awkward. Great work from Rebecca here as she hits the zone.
Yeah, there's no contest over that now. She's definitely in.
Yes, she is. Fighting hard as well.
And this is what I mean by the feet are poor. So the foothold that you can see kind of on top of that volume is no text. So you can't really stand on that very well.
He's going to rotate through here?
I don't know how he's managed to...
No. How's he got there?
Oh, there we go. We're swizzling.
Okay.
There we go.
Swizzling.
We're
love it.
swizzling.
A swizzle for me is a thing you stir a cocktail with.
Oh,
In my head.
I don't drink cocktails. I don't know. Told you, mum life.
Yeah. In the groove with that thumb pressed on the zone. Yeah, lots of people are saying they've seen Toby at various climbing walls throughout the country, and what a surreal experience that was to see an Olympic champ. Well, this is why you need to come to Plywood Masters, because you get to climb with people like Toby.
Yeah, and like when he's walking around, he's quite quiet, kind of keeps himself to himself, but he's such a lovely person.
He
And I think he gives everyone the time of day if they want to come and say hi. Obviously, he is Olympic champion. Everyone's going to know who he is. But yeah, he's just on his merry way of training.
He is. You can see our sponsors, by the way, on the top right. That changes, and the sponsors on the wall as well. Thank you to everyone who's made this comp possible. Good drop down from him. Now we get to see how he got into this position.
Come on, Reese.
That left crimp is nasty. Has Rebecca got the power? Because she's been here a few times. It's going to be draining for her.
I think she's definitely got the fight, but whether she's got enough left in the tank for this next move will be telling. Because, again, I know I keep going on, but the feet are so bad. You don't have anything really to push off that left side at all. You can see she's making the height, but then she's just not got anything to stop herself.
Yeah. Oh, this is good work, though.
Here we go, Finn. Just missing it. Good position. But again, you can't tell how steep this wall is from the camera angle that you're seeing now front on. When you're at the side, it's unforgiving.
Yes, it is. Right through the sort of pointy bit of our wall, the prow. So Finn Jackson is still leading the way. 2 tops in the zone for him. And we're nearing our last couple of climbers out. Sam Butterworth hits the stage. And number 22, Izzy, is out as well. Well, we've seen all of the boulders, most of the athletes now, as we watch this unfold. Top 6 move forward, so Oliver in the danger zone for the men, and Thea, although she's only just started climbing, is down in 6th for the women.
So we've got Izzy Bridgens on women's 1, just missing that move. I know that's going to have annoyed her quite a bit because this is something that she's done many times. Here we go. Ooh! Just having a slip. Might need just take a minute. Well, not a minute, that's a long time in here, but take a second, regroup.
Yeah, I had a little climb with her yesterday. Super strong. She's very good at reading boulders, figuring things out on the fly. All right, getting stood up. I think flash attempts still here. Oh, big split screen. That's cool.
Yeah, Sam is still on his flash attempt.
Standing right at the very edge of that volume, trying to find a bit of a foot. There's not much to be had, though.
Again, this will be more nerves for him. I think he knows that he doesn't have space to miss a flash on this block. Anyway, he might do a little bit later on, but you don't really want to start the comp on not flashing something when you know you're very capable of doing it.
Yeah, and we've got Jim flashing his second climb as well as our scoreboard change, and a flash for the top from Sam. So, flashes coming thick and fast for the men, and the women are battling a little bit harder here. As Ruth gets sat down then, and we'll reset. And on the final slab, nice and slow as she moves up, right hand buried in the dish. Tried to go a bit fast over to the left and came down. Shout out to the Tech Native team, by the way, who are putting on this broadcast with these really cool graphics that we're enjoying. And you just wait until finals. I think this is fancy. We've got a computer game style renders to fly through. Lots of stats coming your way. So do join us around about 5 p.m. tonight, UK time, for the finals. Fred then starts, bounced off that bottom volume.
Yeah, you really need to be landing hand and foot at the same time and not jumping back off the feet. That might be an experience thing with this particular move. Again, it's not something that's set frequently.
Isabella then facing the wall. Left, right, can't hold it.
Yeah, Izzy, one of the taller female climbers, so for her to fit in that gap facing forwards, fair play.
She might have to rethink it, though. This is this powerful boulder we've seen people get close. No one doing it so far. Ruth with a toe hook at the beginning. That's cool. And it does look quite good, that, actually. She's in a steady position.
Yeah, she's steady. Not maybe the hardest move on the route, but still good for her to actually lock in that move nonetheless.
Yeah, maybe saving a bit of energy for later. Just 2 fingers we're watching here. Nasty crimp and a bit of a limp with that right foot as he goes. Shrugs it off, though. Well, YouTube, you're being amazing. Just do me a favour, hammer that heart button one last time, just to let us know you're watching this. And who are you supporting as well? Do send us a message. Who's your hero in this competition? We watch the slab once more. Oh, fingernails in that dish. Ruth, again with this toe that I was talking about. I really like that. Drops in. Not quite.
1 minute left for the climbers on the buzzer, and then we'll have our last and final climbers out, Holly Toothill, Max Milne.
Yeah, those two on form yesterday for the qualifying. A lot of the top athletes. I know Toby's off to Japan, for example, for a training camp before China. So people will be jetting off around the world as they get ready for the 25 season. So it's going to be a fascinating one after the Olympics. You know, it feels like a reset for everyone.
Yeah, and especially maybe for those that didn't go to the Olympics, they'll have had a lot of time to figure out what they want to do. Whereas a lot of the athletes that go to the Olympics, I think the downtime afterwards is really, really important in order to reset and gain a bit of direction in what you want to do again, because it really is the pinnacle of competition. Well, competition anything, but obviously competition climbing.
Yeah, it was awesome in the summer. There is Toby's videographer on your screen on the bottom right. He's got regular vlogs that you can watch on this channel, so while you're here, make sure you subscribe. Max is out and about, looking chill there. He started a YouTube channel as well. And he's one of the most dynamic climbers on the circuit, so might enjoy some of the later boulders here, but he's going to have to slow things down on the slab.
Yeah, also just come back from a training camp in Paris himself. It's really nice to see like some of the international climbers grouping together and actually training together, because they're going to be with each other on the circuit.
Toby with the controlled campus on the guppies here, up towards the slopers now. Apparently he was initially intending this season to do more rock climbing, did a comp somewhere, realised he loved it, and apparently wants to fully commit this year to comp climbing, which is good to hear. Look at this from Toby, tiptoes those feet through, great work. And Max as well on the bottom right, quickly through the opening sequence.
Yeah, this should be bread and butter for Max. It's still not a given that he might,
Oh, the big press.
he might not, have a literal slip up, but look how confident he is. Like, in order to come out, he knows that people have flashed this block, he knows he needs to do it, and he's still climbing in Max's style, and not kind of given any room for doubt.
Yeah. Rebecca had a really awkward step there with the right foot. She kind of brought that foot inside herself. Didn't quite work.
Yeah, that might have been she didn't want to lift the left foot because it was so planted. She wanted to slip, but it didn't work. Stephen opting for alternative beta. I don't think those holds are good enough.
Went for the launch and the catch.
He might prove me wrong.
It would be a very powerful way to do that boulder if he pulls that off, which would be cool to see. Holly is somewhere. Is she done already? I'm not sure, but she is. She is done.
Yeah, she's sat on the mat.
Yeah, so she got that women's number 1 done very quick. And this is Rebecca again. Yeah, so this is the move she did before. Comes off again. And is he going for it again?
He is going for it again. He's trying.
That would be so cool if he gets that.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't look too far off. Thea Cameron, local girl, trains here, figuring her way out through the labyrinth of volumes.
Yeah, it's very 3D climbing here, isn't it? As she faces out and presses.
Especially when it's not obvious. It's not obvious where your hand exactly needs to be. You're second guessing the position all the time. And this is where you can actually start to get really tired. You see she's jumped off, clean slate, try again.
All right, and she's got lots of time to do that. 2 minutes 20 now. This is a powerful sequence. Little jibs, but they're a bit rubbish up there.
Yeah, Reese on block 4, but the movements he's making are really good, and it looks like he was in control, but the left hand, I felt like he was maybe half a centimetre short.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Rebecca's changed her mind a few times on the technique through here. Now she trusts that left foot a bit better, brings the right foot just to sort of pull your body in, but falls off the zone. And hasn't been awarded that. Oh, now she has. Yeah, it was shaky, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been taken away again. I think because she went both at the same time, the zone still wasn't in control. It's not like she used the zone first and then went to the hold. So I think that one was the right call.
Yes, I think so too. So that score gets just tweaked slightly. Good atmosphere here in the climbing wall still. Everyone watching, and all the athletes who already competed are supporting as well, which is good to see. A little pull up there on the start of that boulder. He's going for this big launch again. I'd love for him to get this done.
I mean, I think his height could make it possible because he's almost on that foothold so early. Mm-hmm. If he can get a good enough purchase on both his handholds, but the left hand is so poor.
Yeah, and I think you might think it's the way to do it. Reese, that's better. Hits the top jib.
2 moves from the top.
Now this is the biggest hole on the wall one of, and the smallest little dish in the middle of it. There it is. It's nasty though, and the left hand pings as well.
I think he knows he can do this, but it's whether he's got enough time on the clock and he can hold his composure.
Yeah, he's hardly had any rest. He's back on.
Yeah, he's not got time for that.
I don't think so.
No time for rest. Not when you've got 20 seconds on the clock.
I wonder if he looks back at that move and thinks, because I think he thinks it's the way. You know, he hasn't really tried anything else.
Yeah, true.
I just wonder if he'll kick himself or, you know, he'll have to discover that later. Ruth. No, sorry, not Ruth. Getting lost it. And he goes again for it, but power draining away, and that's no-go for him. Right, well, men and women's Boulder 1 is done and dusted. So we will start to lose boulders and athletes here until we get down to our last couple of climbers as we progress towards the end of the semi-final. Looking for just 6. Jacob now in the danger zone for the men, and Holly, although she's only just started climbing, is in 6th. I think we'll see more from her in a minute. And she'll be on the mats, I think, somewhere here. So pulling on is Izzy now, facing in. Drops the right hand down. Pressing off that left knee, trying to go up towards the big volume above her head, but it's very awkward. Kicks the foot back down again. Remember, if you fall off, that counts as an attempt, so if she can, she'll try to figure it out on the wall, but she can't this time. Sam Butterworth, meanwhile, is up and about. This is his flash go. Gets the zone, moves up the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's looking comfy. I would even almost go as far as say I kind of expect Sam on the podium after the final. He's definitely got the skills. It's whether he can kind of limit the errors. Things like this, but he's doing it his own way. Limit the errors. That wasn't an error, that was a good thing.
Yeah, but it's all been a bit messy, but he's got it done here.
Yeah. Fair play.
Be relieved to say goodbye to that boulder, I think.
And I think that's when you know that the climber really has a sense of their own style, because they're maybe choosing to do it to us. It seems like it's out the box, but they're like, no, this feels good to me. Yeah.
Jim, in the background there, using his comp experience, has spotted the down dyno. Or down jump.
So Izzy, a really, really powerful climber. Her favourite style is slab. But she's got the skills for this block. I still think the feet are a really tricky thing to get around. I'm hoping that she can actually pull out to the top, though. We haven't seen a top on women's block 3.
And she came closest, actually, with that right hand, almost controlled it.
She's only got, if she can hold that, the next move is the top move.
So we'll wait and see on that one. This is this groove-style boulder with tiny jibs, slopey jibs as well. Jim's got the right idea, but can't quite execute at the moment. He's trying to get a toe hook out to the left as well. Someone's asking about scoreboarding. Can you tell us someone's flashed? Yes, you can, because the number's in the box. So if it says 1, that is a flash. If it says 11, that is not a flash. So that 11 goes at the boulder, so you can. This pretty advanced scoreboard here will really allow you to see who's doing what. Jim, better this time. He's in the position. And this man has got super strong fingers as well. He might like this left crimp.
Yeah, I think he's got super strong everything. It's whether, like you said, it's whether he reads it right. The toe hook's quite high. Yeah, now he's lowered it.
Oh,
this cross through looks nails. There is a thumb jib on that crimp that he's got with his right hand.
I'm gritting my teeth here to watch him.
I was going to say, he's fighting.
Wow.
That's our first zone that we've got on men's 3. Is he going to...
Sets up for something big here. Whoa!
Oh.
I think have you got a paddle through that one? I can't remember what they said. I don't know if you stop or if you try to go again towards the right.
No, I think you go again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't really have the height then in that case to do that paddle move that time. And down to the ground.
And just looking on that women's blue climb, actually, just hitting the zone and actually what feet you've got to oppose that position, and there really isn't much. So I feel like the women have got a stiff set of blocks. That's not to say the men's are obviously easier, but I do think that the women's 2 and the women's 3 are really, really hard.
I agree with you, yeah. And it's actually it's nice to see the women fighting this hard. We want to test them. Right, this is the slab in the end. Gets stood up on the left foot. Now, is she skipping this zone? She might be.
No, yeah, I was going to say, I think she'll fall out a bit, but what she was doing there is making sure that her body weight was up and over her feet before then tick-tocking over.
Yeah, she's got a couple moves to go then. All action here. Zone, oh no, not quite. On the women's 3. Now she's fighting, got it. Yeah, hadn't quite have the body position to get that right foot up into the pocket. Pandemonium asks, would you be disqualified for hiding glue in your chalk bag? Probably. Yes. Well, I don't think anyone checks, but I don't think glue would be very helpful.
I don't. Yeah, that has been a topic of conversation for a while now. Chalk isn't checked.
Yeah.
In international competition, especially when you've got things that like polishing font, like POF and whatever else. But it's ideally you would like to think that the sportsmanship of climbing would mean that people don't cheat.
It would be tricky as well, because if you were an athlete who came out anywhere in the order, presumably whatever you put on your hands would be on the holds as well. So it might be quite quick to spot, perhaps, which might save things. Potentially.
I guess it's hard to know. We don't know that it's already going on now, or we don't know it is. But yeah,
that's a good point. Got a conspiracy
we haven't got a clue.
Yeah. Yes, they're not using glue. We saw a brief glance of Holly there. We haven't seen much of her because she splashed that first one, but she's in action now on boulder 2 for the women.
Oh, that was a deep lock. Not quite paying off for him.
Max then. He flashed the first one, and he's looking very confident on boulder 2 as well.
Yeah, this is semi-finals for Max. He will be expecting to stand in the top spot on the podium. Really nice to see him flowing through. But again, it'll be interesting later on to see his body language in the final. Yeah,
Max said on camera, we asked him, why are you here? And he said, I want to beat Toby. So we know what Max wants.
It's nice when you get an honest athlete. Yeah. Why are you here for? Beat Toby. Yeah. Ideally, that would be to, obviously, maybe that's because he thinks Toby's going to win the comp. And not just beat Toby. Maybe they hate each other. I mean, we're starting all types of conspiracies here. We might as well continue it. No, those two are good friends. And we saw Toby there falling off, though. Oh, Thea. Looking really good in that position, but still with nothing for the left foot to push on. I tell you what, that top move as well is not easy, according to the setters, so we'll have to see on that one. Toby's read this very well, as we'd expect from someone with that kind of calibre of experience.
And he's seen the toe hook as well. This is where Jim started to try hard. And we know Toby loves to try hard. Out towards the zone with a pinch. Holly as well, facing out. Good work from her.
I mean, Toby's not following through. He's standing on the volume, actually. Like it's the biggest foothold in the universe.
Unreal for Toby. Big nod there. Wow. Well, that is the only athlete to top... is that... Hang on. Am I saying that right? No. Lots of the top 2. 3. Yes, no, he is first one to top
it's
3.
the only one... Yeah, he's the only one to top 3. We still have Max to go, obviously, and Sam.
Yeah, so good to see another one ticked off.
Jim was close, but no cigar.
All right, into the... Oh, that was a bobble and she's gone. Oh, nasty one.
They're my worst kind of falls.
Yeah, shins and knees. Eh?
And chins.
Oh, nasty stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it. Type in Alex Honnold IFSC and you can watch us breaking Alex Honnold on the circuit by hitting his shin on a volume. It can happen. It's a nasty thing for the athletes. Look at this flow she's got.
Yeah,
these.
Really good going to the zone, actually, with her left hand. This means she can actually, like you said, flow really well through the boulder. But I mean, the setters were maybe saying the top move was hard, but that penultimate's looking tricky. Holly struggling.
Could be the... Yeah, Holly is struggling, you're right. Yeah, and you said bit frustrated at times yesterday, although she did walk away in the top spot. Shrug of the shoulders there. It is very pressy and that can sort of cramp up your shoulder muscles.
Yeah, especially when you're facing in, because you end up with your hand behind your head. So your shoulder naturally doesn't want to be in that position.
No.
I've not seen her try outwards yet, so I don't know if that's that she's kind of honed in on this way, and that's the way that she thinks is working, or if there's a different reason.
So standing up here is Ruth. She's close. Someone say you've got to stop breathing. That left foot is on a horrible no-tex right now in the pocket.
Yeah, I think the spectators stop breathing, the climbers stop breathing. Slab will do that to you.
Yes, it's hard to commentate on, I tell you, because you want them to do so well.
Yeah, she's really locked off on the left arm, but with a lock you can only reach so far. She really needed to commit to the move first, to press, and then get to the top hold.
My favourite comment, by the way, Leah. Skin grows back, medals don't. I like that. Yeah, leave nothing behind. Right, she had wonderful flow last time. Can she find it again? The power's got to be draining away, though. Has she got something extra in the tank? 30 seconds on the clock. Might be her last attempt at this as well.
Yeah, you can really see how shiny that volume is. The foothold that she's on is full tex.
No.
Or no tex, sorry, not full tex.
She's not looking like she'll get up and do that again with 25 seconds to go. She's having a think now, though, so maybe. Holly, meanwhile, no progress so far on this climb. Doesn't like that one. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad block to not move forwards on, as long as she's making progress on the next two. Obviously, she doesn't know what's coming. So that'll be when the climbers need to get out there and head.
Yeah,
and move on.
Yep.
It's gone. You're never going to see that block again. Forget about it.
I've got abandonment issues here, so don't do that to me. All right, YouTube, thank you for all your comments. Keep them coming. And let me know where in the world you're watching from. The most exotic one will win a prize. We'll decide that later on. I know there's someone watching from Australia. So can you beat Australia? So Jim will clean up this power boulder. He is a sort of physical...
I'm expecting Jim to do this.
I kind of am too.
Yeah.
He's all muscles as Jim Pope, so I have to see. And then we're getting a lovely shot here, cleaning up that pinch hold at the bottom of the slab. Flicks that left hand underneath. Powerful as she can drop the right hand in. I think it's an awkward position. She spots the toe as well. Wow. Well, you guys are watching from all over the world here. We've got Greece, Tasmania, Australia, South Wales, New Zealand, Thailand. Brilliant Thailand. Lots of Aussies joining us. It's 2 a.m. from Elijah in New Zealand. Jim wrestling his way through here.
Crimping a foothold. I mean, if it helps, it helps. Making really good progress as he misses the hand hold.
Come on, Jim. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. I asked you to tell me where you are. All of you are Philippines, Malaysia, South Africa, Tasmania, Scotland, Guyana. Brilliant.
If we've got anybody from the UK.
Yes. Well, they're all here, obviously.
Very true. Sam up with ease.
Oh, good work from her, mate.
Sam up with ease with his third flash. So not only did he top the block, he's flashed it, putting him in top spot. This is why I'm expecting him to be on the podium.
I didn't see the British selection. Is Sam on the British team, I wonder? I'll have to have a look. I don't know quite who's made it through this year.
Yeah, I can't say I've been following, I'm afraid.
No, I'm going to have to swat up on that one. Certainly he's in form here with 3 out of 3. Right, Slab looking very calm at the top of this wall.
This is her favourite style. Sometimes, again, that can add a little bit kind of nervy movement if it's your favourite style because you want to do it, you expect to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And she is paused. Oh, big kick out with the left. She's going to have to move away from that, though, to get the final hold.
Yeah, so you could see just a little flick of the hips is pushing her out. I don't think that was a good decision for her. However, you do sometimes have to do that on the wall in order to learn what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got time to figure that out as well. Right, we've seen this boulder come close. No one has sealed the deal on it, though. Drops in. It's a good hold she's on now, but very steep.
Yeah, struggling with that cut loose a little bit. The crimp that she's jumping to is not good. It is really slopey. And again, the steepest part of the wall.
Now you can see the wall from a different angle. That's cool to see. Our commentary box is up behind Sam there, who's crouched down, our photographer. There is Jim. Now, Jim, we put a lot of pressure on you. We were expecting this. Come on, mate, get it done.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of fumbling the handhold with his left. His foot popped with his right. I think he's not had a clean shot yet.
Yeah. But he is, at the moment, easily into the finals in third place. That might be enough for Jim. Right, minute 20 on the clock here. Nearly held that move. She's so tall, almost touched the ground, swinging down. And a bobble off the slab as well.
Yes, we've only got Max to move up into the men's final, so Reese is kind of potentially on the chopping block here.
Yeah.
And obviously Jim won't know that he's in the final, so he doesn't necessarily need to do these blocks. Count back will be a thing. So the more that he can do, if there is a countback situation, it will be used.
Is this a jump?
There's a letterbox. Yeah, but he does have a foothold in the zone. But obviously it doesn't look like he was able to move his foot.
No.
And then you've got to be very, very precise with that top move.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's about an inch, if that final hold for the men.
It's tiny.
It's nasty, isn't it? I'm just looking at it now.
It's a very small envelope. I like the setters have gone to town with the googly eyes everywhere as well. I don't know if any of you have actually noticed that.
Where's the googly eyes?
On the top hold.
Oh, brilliant.
There's a few on the women's top holds as well.
Camera team, if you're listening, there's googly eyes. Find them, please. Right, well, going up here, Isabella creeping. She's had problems with the bottom of this slab and again with it. And time is out for her.
Yeah, that's savage. Being at the top of a block and yeah, I say we've all been there. Most of us know what that feels like.
Yes, you might.
And it's not nice. And also with it being the last block, it's kind of the feeling that you're left with last.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to taint the whole competition.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's, I thought one of our photographers was going to fall off the wall then.
So did he. I think he's just given us a rueful smile there. Sam nearly ending up on the athletes.
You be careful. Don't worry, Molly is fine.
So Toby starts fighting. We haven't seen anyone get to the top of this thing. And I want to, because now I know there's googly eyes on the top. I need to see it. Right hand. You can see the chalk mark indicating where it is.
Nice. That was a good hit from Toby. Yeah, readjust.
Wants to bring the right foot up, and now he does. Drop knee in order to twist into this dish, which is bad.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily, by the looks of his height, doesn't need to bring that foot in. Yeah, he's not going to.
Oh, good work.
Easy peasy.
I can see the eyes now when he matches the top. And that will bump Toby. Oh, he's already on the top spot, but that's a flash as well.
Yeah, that is a flash. Sam will have 4 attempts for this block. And I'd say 4, that would put him level with Toby, but then on count back to qualifiers, that will put Sam above. just how I thought it was going to happen.
That's such a max move, isn't it?
That is a max move.
And the one-arm celebration at the top.
So the semi-final comp is on between him and Sam, with 3 flashes apiece.
Yeah, Toby's on the top because he's done 4 boulders, but the Max and Sam will go over the top of him if they manage to climb quicker. Not quicker, in less attempts. Holly needs to reset here.
Yeah, she can do this block. I wouldn't say, like the body language at the moment is just calm and collected.
And she's got the zone in the flash as well.
Yeah.
It's good to see from Holly, just taking a moment just to compose herself.
Yeah, so two blocks, 2 tops, sorry, not 2 blocks, 2 tops will put you in the final, and then the rest will be decided by the, attempts to zone, as you can see with Edie and Rebecca on your screen in red.
And Holly really taking her time here. This shows that experience she's got. She'll have a time in her head where she's like, I will rest until that moment and then go.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario for Holly is that she doesn't top this block, and then she will need to get bonus on the slab, but that will put her into 5th place straight away.
Yeah, so she's got flexibility, but as you keep saying, she won't know that. So for her, it's just, you need to top these things to get into the final.
Yeah, there is no scoreboard down there for the athletes, so you're kind of running blind until you finish all your blocks, and then you can either speak to a coach, parent, friend, scoreboard, whoever you've got there after you, there for you after you finished.
So Holly has rested a long time here, which is, I honestly think, really clever from her, because it's a powerful boulder. She probably knows the moves, and it's just a case of resting enough to execute them now. Clawing at those crimps, brings the left foot up. She'll move quickly through these moves.
Yeah, familiar with this wall. She had a good battle on this in the final last year.
This is the move, though, isn't it?
That's the move, yeah. I don't get it.
No.
I don't understand.
The set has spent a long time tweaking this boulder, and I just wonder if they've under-tweaked that final move a bit.
Yeah, so the face of those black kind of hexagon, octagon, I'm not sure how many sides they've got, volumes are textured. And the very kind of, top of the rim is textured, but then the main outer circumference is totally mirrored. You can see your face in them. So I don't know whether they're intending to push off about 1 mil of texture, or be strong enough that you don't necessarily need to oppose.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, this is the boulder we're talking about, we're looking at now. I can't count the shapes, so I'm not going to, but that's the zone hold. Holly gets a big shout of encouragement. Popular athlete here as she pulls on. In and underneath, brings the right foot up. Again, trying to find some flow through this bottom sequence.
Yeah, local girl Rebecca Stevens on the chop block with Holly nearing the end of her comp. Obviously, she's still got women's 4 still to go after this.
Holly there had a heel for a moment. She's okay. She keeps holding that lower back,
Yeah, she's holding that hip, isn't she? Doesn't seem happy.
No, well, she'll have to say goodbye to that. She's still got a chance, though. She's in 7th, so close to the finals. That's our crowd, and what a crowd it is. Really enjoying these blocks here this morning. Oh, it's not this morning anymore. It's 1 o'clock. How did that happen? That really went fast. It's gone quick.
I was going to say, I hope it's nearly lunchtime because I'm hungry.
I am hungry, but I didn't realise it was that. We've had 2 hours of this. Wow, cool comp. And yeah, thank you for sticking with us on YouTube as well. Hope you're enjoying this on your Sunday afternoon now. As we see the flash man himself, as the Sam Butterworth cleaning up the hold. He's still got a chance for 4 flashes. So Izzy creeping up now. She has got the zone, so maybe avoiding it now on this attempt.
Yeah, that's strong work trusting that right foot, 'cause it's terrible.
Yeah. That's interesting climbing then.
Looking really comfy on the slab. Maybe not wanting to stand on the no text volume as much though.
No, which is understandable.
You kind of have to. You can't avoid that. That's it.
No, now she does.
So this is the move where you have to move first. And as I'm saying it, she's just doing what I've said you don't need to do.
Yeah, she had a bubble, but managed to save it.
She had a a little crimp with the screw hole, and then she was over. I did think that you would need to commit to the push over first, and once you've completed that move, then you can grab the top hold. But she must have heard me, and she's like, nope, screw you, I'm not doing that.
Well, it bumps her with that flash up to second place. It shows how tight the margins are here. So Izzy will move forward, I think, into the finals. Thea leading the way at the moment. Sam, by the way, is not going to manage the 4 flashes, but he's got a zone.
Yeah, so now with the scoreboard, Izzy Eddington is Holly has the chance to knock her out on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight end to this competition here. We're coming to the business end, losing boulders as we get through. We can see our top 6 currently on the left of your screen. Time on the bottom right.
Yeah, and even though Izzy's got a more kind of red block, she's got 1 top and 2 zones, but Jessica above her has got 2 tops, no zones. So you could say that Izzy kind of got a bit further on more blocks, but the 2 tops really, really, really count.
Yeah, made a big difference. So Sam, once again, one of the most colourful shorts in the comp, hits the left hand. Cruising so far. He's got here before, though.
He's lost his flash streak.
He has. Unfortunately,
we'll let him off.
That's a nice toe scrub.
He's opting for the low foot there, whereas both other boys have been on that foot alone. There we go.
I was confident to stand on that left foot.
Didn't seem a bother for him. Just a little fumble. Didn't manage to post his letter.
I tell you what's impressive is Toby's flash on that boulder.
Yeah.
It's good work from Toby, that.
I think he can hold some impossible holds,
yes.
But really good precision in terms of it being the last move, it being a flick into it as well. Like, it's really easy to fumble it, especially when you're a little bit nervous. Yeah. Not necessarily nervous about the climb, but knowing that you've not really got any room for error.
Yeah. No,
like, the route setters have not given room for error on that slot.
No, I don't think my fingers would fit in it. It's really, really thin.
Yeah, if you've got sausage fingers, you got no hope on there, have you?
You can't. Well, Sam, for the first time in this comp, is having to work a bit harder here. 1 minute 20 left, though. He'll put some liquid chalk on and reset here. There is George down on the bottom left with the mic in hand. Sam with deep breaths here. Shaking out, wiping a bit of sweat here. He's going to wait. This is a powerful boulder. He's had a few goes at it already. And at this point, I would imagine with 3 tops, you'd be fairly confident of the finals. Of course, he won't know for sure, but he won't want to burn too much skin and energy on this.
He won't want to, true, but there's been a few instances where countback has mattered.
Oh,
and
true,
so, like, I think what I'll be going through a lot of these climbers' heads is I really need to do the best I can in case with the setting there is a bit of a
draws at the top.
A draw, thank you.
5 p.m, by the way, for those asking about finals, so you have enough time to go away and chill out a little bit and then come and join us again.
Finish with a smile on his face. I think, obviously, he's had a good round. He's happy with that. Probably a little bit sad to not top it, knowing that Toby has. Obviously capable, but maybe just run out of a few beans. They really don't have that long between semis and finals, especially to recover, given that finals is going to be a big step up in difficulty from these blocks.
Yeah, agreed. Well, our top 6 is starting to make sense now. Holly, though, now this is an important climb for her. She's currently in 9th. Can easily get into that top 6.
Yeah, she won't know that a zone is all she needs to be in. She doesn't have, actually, too many attempts. No. She has 3 attempts. She has 3 attempts to get to zone. Oh. Holly!
So, big moment for Holly here. Our number 1 qualifier in danger of missing out on the finals. In the background, meanwhile, Max, no danger from him. 3 flashes. Could he be the only one to flash all 4 boulders? So, 2 athletes at very different sort of spectrums of this competition here. Holly doesn't like the heel.
Yeah, I would, I would say I expect Holly to do it. I know that Holly's capable of getting this zone. It's whether or not, things like that, it's whether or not she can keep the errors to a minimum and get it within the next 2 attempts.
Risky stuff. I can't believe Max held that bump, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Max is cruising. Look at him. He's not even breaking a sweat.
No, Maxwell, there are levels to the game. And oh no, though! Fingertips in the slot.
Maybe he was breaking a sweat.
Yes.
And it was in the pocket.
True. Slipped off with that left hand.
Yeah, he's looking at his skin. I mean, I had a quick glance at the screen then of his skin, and his fingertips are not white.
Yeah.
Are not white.
So that can be an indication of a few things. That bad skin, maybe. So Max will have another go, though he's flashed all three. So, you know, he's done well like that. Holly, this is attempt number 2. Remember, she's got 3. Up with this left foot. This was the foot that popped before. Will it work this time? Confidence as she stands up. Ignoring the zone at the moment. We know what's going to happen if she drops left.
There we go.
That should be zone, yeah.
There, she's in.
So that's it.
She's in.
Whew, Holly gave us a real heart-stopping moment there.
Ugh, nothing like bringing it down to the wire. Obviously, does bump Izzy out, so sad times for Izzy.
Maybe not yet. Currently in 7th for us, so we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, I think she won't bump up though because of she needs to finish the block.
Okay.
I think that might be a tech thing.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not good at maths, but I know, I can see on there that she'll have, numbers-wise, she'll be in front of Izzy.
Yeah. No, I trust your maths more than mine.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm a root setter.
You're many things. Your jewellery downstairs, by the way, is amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Where can people get that if they want to get
I mainly sell it on Instagram.
Okay.
So Leah Crane Designs on Instagram. If you want anything, just send me a message.
Wicked. Yeah, that's beautiful stuff that Leah's got on display here. So, Holly, we're just waiting for that score to change, and Max getting very, very close. Fingertips on 4 flashes, but he'll have to restart. And people are asking where they can watch the finals. Well, you got returned to this channel. So if you found us, just stay with us, basically. The finals will come on, I think it's in a few places, but it's mainly on Toby Roberts' YouTube channel. That's where we're watching it from with your comments anyway. And also Boulder UK as well. Yeah, so if you go search for Boulder UK on YouTube or Toby, that's how you'll find us. Right, creeping up is Holly. It's the right hand, solid stuff from her.
Oh.
And now going towards the top.
So now she'll be in. So it seems that she wasn't awarded the zone. I don't know if someone's doing something wrong down with the buttons down there, but I do really feel like she got zone on her second go.
Yeah.
I don't know why it says 3.
She's still not been bumped up, though. Well, that's the match, anyway.
Yes.
And what a match that was, doing that differently.
Yeah, you can see Holly's experience there.
Yeah.
Knowing that she doesn't actually, she's tall enough to reach, she doesn't need to bump up and actually do a full move.
Yeah.
Fair play.
There we go, the scoreboard kind of catches up with herself and she moves up into second place. So after that scare, easily through. Max then goes again. He hasn't had many goes on this, resting because it's so powerful.
Yeah, really good tactics from Max there. He's basically got to the top, so he doesn't need to start having more goes. He just needs to leave himself enough time to have one more go, and ideally, that's all he needs.
Yep. Get it done. This will move him up to the top if he can get it. No, missed again. Went high that time. Went low the time before, a bit high.
The slot bit back. Looks like he's going to have another go. I mean, he really doesn't need to, but again, he doesn't know.
Surely with 15 seconds, this won't be enough time.
He doesn't know. Yeah, but he's mad for it, isn't he? He's keen. He's a keen bean.
He is indeed, but he might have to call it a day there. So Max will leave us. Are we done? We are done, aren't we?
We are done. Max was our last. So you've got your top 6 men and women. So Reese being bumped out and Izzy being bumped out. But everyone else you will see climbing again from 5 p.m. So come back and join Matt and myself for the live stream.
Yeah, we cannot wait for that. That wall will be stripped. New boulders will be put up on the wall, and we'll just check these results in a minute. So that's not quite it, but this is, we'll be looking. Oh, no, this is it. Sorry. Yeah, so here we go. This is the all of the athletes who have climbed already. We're only looking for our top 6, top zones. And all the attempts are there for you, but that is our top 6 there. Down to Jessica. Isabella just pushed outside of that top 6. Thea in the number 1 spot, and Holly getting through as well. It's going to be a good fight between those women coming later on, and then we'll have a look at the men's as well. This is down at the bottom end of the order, so Sam with work to do, but good from him on one of his first competitions, and then moving through up into the top 10, with Oliver sitting in 10th, and Tom Jenkins after that in 9th. And as we have a look at our top 6. Some big names here. Toby Roberts leading the way. Max, Sam, Jim, Finn and Stephen will climb later on. Reece so close but just missing out on that one. All right, well, Leah, thank you so much for joining me here in the semis. We cannot wait to return for the finals. Hopefully you will at home as well. If you're watching or if you're in the area, come down to Boulder, UK. This is Plywood Masters 25, and we'll return at 5 p.m. UK time for the finals. See you soon.
CAC is about bringing the climbing community together to help tackle cancer, and we do that by funding cancer research and also programs to help people live with and beyond cancer, and we also do it by raising awareness. We've actually donated more than £500,000 to charities around the world. A bunch of ways to get involved with CAC. One is to buy some kit. Another way is fundraising. It could be a tray bake. Just be creative, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, it's about raising money. And then the third thing is we regularly have pop-up stalls, so we at festivals, events, competitions, and having people along just to help out at those, a couple of hours, up to folks like us, folks like you at home, to get involved and keep the thing carrying forward.
Together, let's be believers.